Hello,
Professional
everyone.
Ultimate players, 16 teams, but only one team can be the strongest. Welcome to the second half of Session 6 of the Saikyosen Team Battle. Kyle here, and you have just heard Tips and Tricks, who will be joining me. Hello!
Hello, everyone. Good opening, Kyle, and welcome to all viewers, listeners, Mahjong fanatics, and Mahjong players, actually.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
we are here at the Saikyosen Team Battle 2025, session number 6. Sponsored by WRC and USPML.
Yep, we hope you'll check out Sparrow's Nest for USPML, a New York Mahjong studio fully equipped with Slim Score, Ultimate, and Rex 3-order tables. And WRC, well, hopefully it's been pretty on the topic of conversation for a while. It's the World Riichi Championship, the most prestigious international Mahjong tournament in the world, which will be held, I believe, next week in Tokyo.
That's right. Next week, there's going to be coverage on the JPML English channel, as well as recaps and informational videos here on the WRC channel. So very exciting stuff.
I've been out of the loop for last week, but Tips, is there anything else exciting that's happening recently or will be happening soon?
Well, the World Riichi Online Team League is actually beginning during WRC, so if you didn't have time to make it, or if you didn't qualify, or perhaps the distance is too far, you can also get a chance to play with the pros there in the World Riichi Online Team League. Your team will be playing 4-player Mahjong this time. This session is 4 players, and you'll be competing, get your best streak. And one difference this year is that teams can register midway through the tournament. So you can register before, or if you found your team later on midway through the league, you can register then, as long as you make sure to get all of your games per player done. So there is still a minimum amount of games necessary. But
exactly.
if you can get those done in time, you can do a late registration at no additional cost.
I'd still recommend registering early, because obviously the earlier you register, the more chances you have to play in that lobby with the pro. But yeah, that's starting on the 5th of July, and I believe the website to get involved is worldriichi.org/teamleague-2025. So get involved with that. But yeah, we are the WRC YouTube channel, and if you're enjoying these broadcasts, maybe give us a like and do the subscription thing. The more our channel grows, the more stuff we'll broadcast for y'all. But we're here for the Saikyosen Team Battle today, and I guess we could do a little recap of the rules. Hopefully everyone knows by now. But we are at the second half of Session 6 of 7 of this qualifier. In each session, 16 players play 5 games. Hopefully you saw games 1 and 2 yesterday. We're going to see games 3 to 5. The rules are similar to WRC, but as you can see on the screen, we do have Ipatsu, we do have Uradora. We start with 30,000 points. There are no ties, so we have to think about dealer priority. We've got head bump, and if the dealer keeps winning, or if someone busts out, the game will continue, even if they're in first place at the end of the game. So, hopefully, by now we're all familiar with the rules. But how do we score points? At this point, we have a very simple scoring system. It is just position. If you can be in first place, you score 3 points to your team. Second, 2, third, 1, and fourth, unfortunately, you don't score points. But you don't lose any points, which is quite interesting, I think. But yeah. So, I guess we got to see who we'll be watching play today. I believe for every game this week, we have seen Team DD Studio. And for their third game out of 5, they are going to be playing in the East seat. We're going to be seeing Enju Sanada from NPM, representing Team All... Enju Sanada from NPM, representing Team All Sirius. In the south, we have Tomoyuki Kido from JPML, representing Team Kokushimuso across Northland. In the west seat, we have Kansuke Sugiura from JPML, representing Team City Plus. And in the north seat, we have Toru Yajima from NPM, representing Team DD Studio. I would like to see how the scores are going, because I did miss a week when I was not feeling so great. Wow, Team DD Studio are far, far ahead in the lead. But
yes,
as
4 points here.
Yeah, exactly. We only have 8 matches left to go, but every position you get means you get a little bit further into those playoffs. So it's going to be really important for everyone. And the most important thing is to be not last, right? If you're 16th place at the end of this qualifier, you don't even get to play in the playoffs.
That's right. So
Alban's.
we are taking a look at all Sirius this game, who is currently 15th, 2 points ahead of Alban. So they are really going to be looking to try and hold on here, because between all Sirius, Real Partner, and Alban, they are all a little bit at risk here with 8 games to go. I mean, technically, with 8 games to go, anyone could end up in last, but most likely it's going to be one of those 3 teams, because Orfeu is 9 points ahead of Alban right now, which is a tall order to climb with 8 games left. Of course, it's not impossible, but there's a big difference between those bottom 3 and then the middle of the pack here.
8 first places would be 24 points. So in theory, if everyone at the top loses, maybe Alban could get first.
It could be a complete
bit of a miracle though at this point. But at the very least, they can get a few positions up if they play well. Oh yes, and of course, you also do see on the 3rd column in the numbers there, we have that earned points column. This is the sort of total sum of scores as the game has gone on. It only really matters in the tiebreaker, so as you can see with AMC Dental and Team City Plus, 100 points in-game separates those 2 teams. But
that's amazing.
It really is. You cannot get closer than that. I think it's literally impossible to be closer than 100 points.
Right.
But yes. So maybe we'll see a situation where those in-game points matter. I definitely see a few ties here, but the only way I think we're going to see how these scores change is to watch the matches. And
agree. Round 1. I suppose this is round 3 of session 6.
It's round 1 today, yeah.
Yeah, but, round 1 of today.
All you loyal viewers, I'm sure, watched rounds 1 and 2 yesterday.
Here we go. There's that nice bear in the 50th anniversary for, I believe, Kokushimuso and Northland there.
There are no red 5s in this rule set. Welcome back, Mulligan. So it's a lot easier to track where the Dora are at any given time, because there's only 4 of them you really got to worry about, rather than having to deal with pesky red 5s getting in your way. I do think it's really interesting how it changes how you play, though, because you can play a lot more aggressively, I find, when I don't have red 5s to worry about. Because you sort of kind of have a better handle on what everyone else could have. And what this hand has is 2 Dora. Hello.
If your definition of aggression is calling to quickly win a hand, though, usually red 5s are better there, because one of the most common hands to call for is Tanya, and you can easily sneak the red 5s in it.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah. Anything with 3 Han is good, and it's very easy to make 3 Han in a red 5 format. But these pros don't get that choice. Instead, we have
Kido a little different.
2 amazing drills. This is not so ideal from Yajima, but trying to think maybe there's a Sanshoku hiding there, like a 678, maybe. I'd be thinking about that. Not really believing in it, but hoping.
I was mentioning Tanya at the beginning of this hand, and it looks like every single player has a shot at Tanya right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Sugiura not really going for it, though. He has 5 honor tiles, so he's the furthest away from Tanya, and he's playing like it. He's hoping to use one of those honor tiles, or at the least throw away the dangerous tiles so he doesn't have them when somebody else reaches.
Very interesting there, swapping the 7 for a 9. I wonder if we're seeing some really early defense with Sugiura.
Yes, that's what I'm feeling as well, from the way he's been playing his hand.
Because sometimes, it's just not it,
Okay, well, maybe there's some other options here. He has now paired up his West, so keeping all those different Yakuhai tiles, all those different value honor tiles.
The one problem with that is that we've seen
to use one.
The other 2 Wests get played already.
That is a big problem, actually.
Yeah. The very first 2 discards from our dealer.
He might be able to use the West as pair. He currently has 5, 6 in every single suit. So maybe like a 4, 5, 6 or a 5, 6, 7 mixed triples, a Sanchoku. But even that is very far away. He just pulled 3, 4, 5 here. So I feel like for the most part, Sugiura is just playing defensively here.
That's totally fair. Honestly, you can still aim for second place in a format like this, especially when you're the team with 46 points.
Yeah.
But also,
Oh, there's the 4. Well, he just throws it. He already has the 4. I suppose he doesn't want the 3, 4, 4, 5 shape. Already discarded one of them
shapes like that are
earlier in the
generally
hand.
quite nice to keep earlier in the hand. I still think this is early enough that it would be useful if you're playing to be aggressive.
Yes, I
Oh,
think,
hang on.
as
This is
mentioned, he's
Tempai, and we
just
are going to see
folding.
a reach.
Yeah, no full straight, no Itsu, but 3, 6, 9, and some of the winning tiles are Tanyao. So still some reasonable value there. Of course, we
Yes,
can see the
exactly.
Dora here are over in Sanada's hand. No Dora here for Kido. Kido is hoping to catch a Dora, but actually paired up the 3-so instead, so no use for 2-so in the hand.
One of the interesting things about the 369 weights, we do see two of the nines are already gone. So if you're playing that, like sort of playing the odds, you're way more likely to draw the Tanyao side, the all simple
That's
side.
right. That's right. And we see Sugiura just having a fairly easier time at defending than our other players because of the way he played his hand.
Exactly.
So
So
that's the advantage.
our Dora having dealer here has a good enough hand to consider attacking.
That's right.
They
It's
need
going to
to get
be
before
it's
the
going to
one
be
of
a difficult road. And Sugiura trying to get rid of the Formon early so that he doesn't have it later for danger reasons. He just keeps drawing more copies of the Formon.
in fact, this is Tempai for our dealer, waiting on the 4, but it's too late.
That's
The
right.
3 is drawn. No
South
Ura, but
Uradora,
still.
so none there. Not bad though. He did get the Tanya side, like you mentioned.
It shut
1300,
down that other Tempai.
2600. Just hoping for one more Han for the Mangan, but it was not to be this time. That's one thing about the red fives, right? You
Yes.
can easily add the Dora into the hand like that.
I
Could
believe
show up
any
in
red 5
any
would
of
have
the
fit
three
into that hand.
suits. Yes,
Still, the dealer now will switch to Kido, who is in the lead.
mm,
And I don't hate this start.
not bad
It's
for
not a huge
sure.
amount of value, but
Would really like a 5 still.
okay. Well, maybe Tanya's the Yaku of the day today, as we see that Yajima,
Order of the day.
yeah, the special on our menu, Yaku menu.
Yeah, it's just so common.
Mm. Also, I just want to point out Sugiura is either playing defensively again or maybe angling for a little bit more of an expensive hand.
At this point, I wonder if it has something to do with the team's placement in the overall scores. How we mentioned that the number one thing is just to not get cut in 16th place. I wonder if he's already just trying not to give any points to all Sirius and Kokushimuso Northland who are behind them. But I feel like City Plus should be in a reasonably safe place. I
Let's say
mean,
that's
look at how
9.
close they are to DD Studios 50. That if they made a push, they could really attempt to go first and avoid the playoffs altogether and seat themselves in the finals.
Very true.
Yajima, already Tenpai, playing very similarly to the games he played yesterday. Nice speed. He makes
Yeah,
a
Adila
lot of
Hikiro's not
calls. He
folding.
didn't need any this time.
That's 10. No, it's 9 in a pair. Yeah, we're going to fold this. Absolutely. The right thing to do. With a hand like going for 13 orphans, it's fun, but you have to acknowledge when it's not happening.
That's
Having
right.
said that, this hand might be happening. Still keeping the Dorasuji just as I'm only going to play this if I hit Tenpai, but One away for potentially a nice door of two pin through hand.
Will it be enough? I'm sure value-wise it's enough to chase Yajima, but will the speed be enough to beat him? Oh, that's not a win. Our players, especially on the TV table, take an extra second to make sure they're not missing their winning tile or performing a chombo, even during Riichi.
So, quick little count says that there's 1, 2, and 3 of the 5 of bamboo there. 4-hour reach here to win on. 4 tiles.
That's
A lot
right.
of them are being held by other players. So we'll see. I don't think anyone's going to deal in because the players were holding this, at least. Don't have a huge motivation to push. So
Still no winning tile here for Yajima. Kido still hoping to get in position to chase.
and
Wow!
there's going to go the reach. Only waiting on the 3 of characters, but with
It's
Dora
worth
3, you have
so
to go for it,
much.
right?
Yeah.
Actually, there might be an equal number of tiles. Oh, no, it's not. But he gets the Apatsu!
Now that is some spicy luck there. Kido huge. That's a Haneman. Flip
Yeah,
Uradora. Got one. I think it's still Haneman with one Uradora. Yeah.
Adila
One
Hanuman no
more.
less.
It would have been a Baimon. But that's over 50,000 points for Kido. And now Kokushimuso Northland with the first attack in this game.
I was saying how score doesn't matter unless we get a tie, but it's always nice to have a 54,000 point lead in these two, isn't it?
No kidding.
So the real question is, will Kido's dealership continue? It doesn't look like a terrible start here. A little bit of shrapnel to clear away, but otherwise, looking pretty good. I also very much enjoy the triplet of upside down easts. Looks like everyone actually here has a lightning fast hand. Okay. Okay, maybe
Wondering.
maybe Yachima's hand is not quite as good as I first thought, but still.
Here we are. Kido discards the south here.
Yeah, Kido has a choice to make, I guess. Like,
I
the
wonder.
one particular path they could choose would be the 7 pairs route, which is
Right.
less likely to win, I think, but maybe we don't necessarily care about winning as much. Looks like we changed that with the Tuso draw there, filling in that 1-3 shape. It's now a sequence rather than a pair of threes. But from a first place perspective, maybe a hand you can fold easily with is not a bad choice.
Yeah, although Sugiura, who we mentioned, was folding the first two hands, this might be his final, not his final, but finally his chance to attack if Sanada doesn't match up all these pairs first. That is not a fourth east. I thought it was a fourth east for a bit, but interesting move here. Cutting a lot of inside tiles again. Maybe Sugiura just doesn't like Manzu. Because
Yeah, I could see that.
every turn he seems to be discarding even the good inside Manzu tiles.
Guess
I
it
wonder
kind of
what's
just
up.
projects an image of a half flush, maybe,
Yeah, but he
but
has so many different tiles from the two suits. I don't expect a half flush.
exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's another pair here for Yajima, but maybe they are considering a 7 pairs switch. It's a bit late, but I could see it. The fourth East right here. It is live, so it's going to be kept for a little bit. No reason to give someone a Yakai triplet.
That's right. Something took me a while to learn.
That is another pair, though, for Yajima.
Yeah, Sanada also has a lot of pairs here. But it's not completely a Toitsuba or a pairs round because some of our players are still going for runs here. That 2 and 3 are interestingly separated in Sugiura's hand, but I think he is actually using them. I wonder if he would ever chi them. You'd have to grab from both sides of his hand, just like whoop, whoop, to put them down for a chi.
Looking at Sugiura's hand, the thing I'm thinking about is, can I make this a Chanta somehow? Can I make this an outside hand?
Yeah, that's also a possibility.
You've got that pair of the
Uh,
eights there, but
that's what makes it tough because he really only has 5 blocks right now. Oh, he's keeping this block. He's keeping
if
this
we pair it
green
up,
dragon. It's not exactly a block, but it does help him make Chanta if it pairs up. So I think he's on the same wavelength.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, well that's that. We may just see a reach here. Actually, what is the?
Maybe just hold out. Nah, he's going to reach. He does have Yaku, so he didn't need to reach necessarily, but hard to make that any better.
Yeah, it's also quite interesting because we see two of the 8 pin out. So if a player has 899 or something like that, they might see the 9 as being one chance, as in there's like a blocker, so maybe we can roll out that sequence chance. It's a lot of maybes, depending on the information other players have that you don't, but
Right.
I could see a world where someone sees the 9 of dots as safe. Someone's gonna draw it first, though, and there's only one left to draw.
And that really is the best way to go about it. Drawing it yourself, and you don't have to open. You can get Sumo Yaku as well. So you
Well, there
can't
you
really
go.
argue with that. You can't really argue with that at all.
Oh,
Ooh, almost got
most
Uradora. Not
investment.
quite.
Okay.
Not quite. Need the reverse Uradora rule.
If only could work backwards as well as forwards. I'm pretty sure there is a rule set somewhere that lets you do that.
Yes, I'm sure there is. May have played it once upon a time.
I know there was a rule set that has the wins go in order, so you can make a
Right.
sequence with wins. That still blows my mind.
But here we are in East 3, wins
On.
going in the proper order. Everyone getting a chance to be East.
Yes, everyone gets two
As
dealerships.
Mahjong was written
I,
in
I
the
think it's
beginning.
honestly, I like this rule set where everyone gets two dealerships and two full dealerships with all the benefits and the drawbacks of each.
Right.
So even if you're in all last and you keep winning, you still got to keep playing because everyone
Yes,
else
there's
has to.
there's actually a very a statistically significant advantage to having Agariyame, to have being able to stop when winning as dealer.
Yeah,
I know
just
it's more commonplace, especially in casual play, to have it, but
yeah. You see it happen a lot,
it's
right?
actually quite a large advantage when you crunch the numbers. The North player, obviously in East 1, who's the last dealer, actually has quite a bit more chance of winning a game when Agariyame is on, when it is in the rule set. So it definitely makes sense in most of these professional events. Live stream, televised, any sort of competitive tournament that you don't have Agariyame.
Yeah, I think it's just nice and fair and exciting, right? Because it gives everyone else just a little bit longer, maybe, to try and
Yeah,
catch
I
up.
mean, when you think about it, the ability to stop when you're choose to stop your dealer. If I remember correctly, that rule actually originated that anyone could choose to stop their dealer if they wanted to, not just the last player if they were ahead
Mm.
when it was originally conceived. So even if you're in the middle of the game, if you decided you didn't want to be dealer anymore and you just won, you could stop. And then it
Yeah, I
was so
definitely remember there being certain media where I'm going to continue my dealership was a twist,
right. And
like an
then
actual plot twist.
it's definitely changed to only the last player could do it if they're ahead because they don't need it anymore. But
Yes.
at that point, it's almost like it should be everyone or nobody. You should be able to do it in the middle of the game if you want to.
Mm.
Because there have been a number of situations where, for example, Kido here at 50,000, if this was the South round, maybe he would want to end his dealer, even if he won, to push the game along faster. But only the North player has the option in most rule sets. So I think it makes sense that nobody has the option, really.
Mentioned that we have two players who are currently one away from Tenpai, but no one's gotten a ready hand just yet. Sanada and Sugiura both one away. That doesn't actually give Sugiura anything.
Yeah,
They've
Kido here
already called the Green Dragon, so
sitting in the North seat. Actually, both pairs of wins are guest wins for him. So hand a little bit worse than it initially looks.
we do get a reach from Sanada.
Yeah, it's a tough Riichi, but not
Yeah,
much room for improvement here. He's waiting on the Dora Indicator 7 pin.
I
Does
think an
lock a
important thing
Dora
to
in
think
this
about
hand, but hmm,
is, at, but the score gap between you and the player above you is 300 points before the reach, and the score
right.
gap between you and the player two positions above you is literally a Mangan. Well, a Mangan plus a Honda, I guess. We're not quite there yet, but when the score's this
Right.
close, I think it's absolutely fine just to take a reach if you think you're going to win first. But then,
Yeah.
not the only player Tenpai now.
I mean, a
6-9 will do it
lot
for
of
Adila
that's
in
right.
the bamboo. But you see a lot of sixes and nines held or played though. Two of them right there, of course. So I
And
think in terms of
there's one of Sanada's tiles. Kido holds it though. Kido does not deal in here. Well, that one's also kind of scary. Yajima will hold it as well. Oh, and this is
seven
why you
does
do
come.
the reach.
Yeah, always go for a reach, especially when your first attempt by. I think the other thing to consider is, especially if you don't have many upgrades in the hand, even a
Yes.
bad weight first tempo reach is still going to be
Yeah.
better in terms of average points won than
Yes.
folding.
It's not ideal, but that's the same thing I mentioned right when he did the reach is if you don't have many improvements, it's as good as it's gonna get. Sometimes if
But
you're very far ahead, you can not reach just for safety so that you can fold if necessary. But Sanada is not ahead, so he's got to take what he can get, especially on Team All Serious here, at risk of being eliminated and being in last place in the current game.
exactly,
Solid move, taking his chances. Sometimes they pay off. I mean, they won't pay off if you never take them. So now he's up in third place.
I think the stats
Oh,
say
actually,
that a reach at that position on that kind of weight is like about on average plus 100 plus 200 points ish. I think.
interesting.
And
But
obviously,
it's
if you
better
fold,
than
you
being
lose
minus.
1,100
Yes,
because someone else will either sumo or paying a tempo cost.
that's right.
So yes, worth doing. But also, we already have a tempai from Kido here to just tell everyone, you're not allowed to play today. And on a one of characters draw, they get that outside, that common ends hand. So one extra hand available if they are lucky. I'm sure they're happy just to win though. That's the one
I
bad bit needs to draw, of
wonder.
course.
Yes, I mean, this is a huge draw. This is Tenpai as well.
It is.
Sugiura decided to take his time in the first two hands, but he's been given some good hands in these last two hands here. And so
Yeah, if you
he's
don't have a chance, then obviously choosing to just fold, I think is perfectly fine.
right.
But when you've got it, you've got to go for it.
And the five so right out from Kido. Kido's staying right in the battle here. It's interesting
Yeah,
when you see the 8 so discarded, the 5 so is half Suji. And Kido seemed to appreciate the half Suji more than the edge tile, because usually you'd consider the 2 so safer than the 5 so, if only by a little bit. But Kido decided to go right back with the 5 so because the 8 so is discarded. So even the pros here considering half a Suji as being worth more than the outsideness, the
The other thing is
outsideness of the Tuso,
outsideness,
something like
yeah.
that.
But the other thing to keep in mind is if they draw the 1 and the 4 passes, which is maybe too much to ask, but if they drew the 1 and the 4 passed, then they would also add an extra hand of value to the hand. So
That's
keeping
right.
that option of the upgrade is quite nice too.
That's true. We did mention that he was looking for common ends or chanta earlier in the hand. So that's another reason why you'd keep the Tuso.
But Sugiura manages to win the hand, pulling into a very well, pulling
Yeah,
away for everyone else in their very comfortable second place.
yeah, we were
Very
talking
comfortable.
about Suji the whole time. Truth is, certain weights do not use Suji. Certain weights cannot be defended against with Suji, and this is one of them. The triple weights, the single pair weight, and any kind of single weights. Suji only works on those open-ended Ryanmen weights, as they're called.
Sick beginner trap is to deal in something when someone has, say, something like 579, cuts the 5, waits on the 8.
That's right.
That's one of the reasons why you don't trust the Suji of the Reach tile. The tile's right before it sometimes.
Yes.
But this is, oh, wow. Okay. Well, Yajima might finally have a hand that they can actually win because they are one away from tap out already.
Yeah, we're in South 1, though. This could
Yeah, this
be
is
a
going.
big pain for Sanada. Sanada's last dealership right here. If Yajima takes this down quickly, not only would it be the end of Sanada's last dealership, but it could also overtake him as the dealer. He would have to pay the penalty on the sumo.
Exactly. So, Kido with a very nice pickup. Gets him a little bit closer to tap out, but not quite there yet. We got to see the Reach, though, come out from Yajima.
Kido does not wait for a mixed triple sequence.
It's
He
still
has to
Riichi, Pinfu, and they've got that Dora 1 man. It's forehand with Sumo before
yes,
Uradora flips.
yes, but it would be the 20 fu forehand for the 1600, 3200, or sorry, 1300, 2600,
It's always
5200
interesting
total.
to ask the question: how long do you wait for Sanshoku? That
Right.
mixture sequence. How long is it? Because I try and incorporate it all the time, but I tend not to wait for it when I'm one
Yeah.
away or when I'm
I think
tenpai.
even for Yajima here, it would take two tiles. One of the sets of three, one of his runs would have to move to the other run, either the 5, 6, 7 or the 6, 7, 8 would have to he'd either have to get the 5 or the 8 of the other one, and then he would still have to get the winning tile of the right side. So when
Yeah,
it's two tiles like that and you're already tempai, I think reaching does make more sense here. But
fingers crossed. We flip Uradora and get a
yeah,
good win
his
here for Yajima.
his current score position is what makes it really interesting because
Hmm,
normally you don't care too much, but because he's in last by over 10,000 points, getting Sanchoku here would be worth way more than just the Pinfu, like you said.
That's
But
true.
perhaps Forhan Sumo is good enough. And
They still have a
indeed, it
dealership
will catch
left,
here.
and we flip to Uradora. Hello.
Ooh! Yeah, so that's gonna be
I
Mangan even without the sumo. That's exactly what he needs.
think with the sumo, it's Hanuman.
Oh, you're right. No, no, that
Yeah.
wasn't sumo.
So,
It
oh,
was it
sorry.
was
No.
Roan.
But even still, wow.
Oh, so
Yajima
how
getting
was it
right back in there,
6? That was
keeping
Reach Pinfu Dora 3, wasn't it? Was it Tanyao?
each
No,
Pinfu
he had a
Dora
one man
3.
in hand.
They had a 1 man in hand. I'm trying to think where the extra hand
Interesting.
was. Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah. It was not sumo. It was a Ronan
No, it was a
Kido.
Ron. Yeah. It definitely wasn't Ipatsu. We waited plenty of turns before that happened. Oh, well. Something to
Well,
review.
yep. It does look
Um,
like the scores are exactly the same as they are on the table, though. So the table considered it a Haneman there. Maybe he won on the 5 pin? Was that what he was waiting
that would make
for?
sense. I would have an extra Dora, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't quite catch what Kido had discarded there. But yeah, if he had won on the 5 pin, that would have been Dora 4, which is probably what happened here.
Either way, what it's done though has brought all the players to within 14,000-ish points of each other. I'm seeing that 500, but I'm just gonna say that's a 12,000 point sumo.
Yeah, honestly, Sanada didn't even have to pay any dealer penalty. Didn't get sumoed, but still ended up in last place without his dealer because the hand was just worth so much. So, not the
Yeah.
greatest outcome for Sanada, even though he didn't deal in. And Kido is still ahead because he had such a big lead. So that dealing honestly felt worse for Sanada than it did for Kido.
But what
That's
if
just
Sanada wins a big hand off Kido now?
yeah, then that would be huge.
Looking at this, I'm seeing the potential pure straight that Itsu.
That's true.
You
Just
need a little
one
bit more luck
of
to make that
the
happen, but it's there. A path to first place suddenly opened up for everyone, not just the person who won that last hand. Oh, it's
hmm.
not quite.
Hmm. Yeah, it's useful, but you're right in that it's not the full straight. Maybe he'll just go all the way for a full flush, but he needs 5 or 6 more tiles to do that.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to aim for first place. Just getting a position, then focusing on the next player above you. I can definitely make. You don't have to go for
Right.
a giant leap. Although Team Sirius doesn't want to be getting a 0 points here. You were talking about this at the very start of the game.
Yes.
Currently second from last. Certainly would be nice if they could upgrade that. They do have that door acceptance. They got that 6-9 in pin weight. And we do see two of the nines out. So if they are going to win this hand, there's a good chance it's going to be on that 6 pin.
That's right. So
But
far, none of the hands look too explosive yet, but most of them actually have quite a bit of potential. They just haven't got there yet. With the right draws, the hands could be really big, but they could also be pretty small as well. There's
yeah,
potential, it hasn't been realized. We'll put it that way.
I want to believe in them. I like to say there are no bad hands, just some that need more work than others. But
Some
a lot
require
of these
you to
hands need a lot
go
of work. That
through.
5 helps, though. It's kind of
Yeah,
the
that's
fill
not
we
bad.
didn't really want, but it's still better than
True.
nothing.
Going to convince Yajima to cut the 2 pin off the end. No pawn here for Sanada. He doesn't really have a play for that. But he does draw a good tile. So 1 away for Sanada.
Yeah,
Still the
Sanada.
chance of the full straight, although he's not 1 away for the full straight.
Yeah, I still think it's perfectly fine just to get a hand, especially with the
Right.
score situation being this close between you in third place and even you in second place. Right? Sorry, yeah.
Yes. And he's got Yaku. He does have Yaku.
Oh, that
That
7 is a
pink
huge
thing.
fill. We're gonna see a reach.
Sugiura first to Riichi. This is one Han Riichi
Yes,
only so far.
I, I like to call that kind of hand pin faux because it's fake.
Full, exactly.
It's not real. FAUX.
Oh, something's going on the table. Ooh, a 7 pin. One of the worst tiles to draw in that spot. It does technically improve the amount of tiles you're waiting on to win. It improves your efficiency, but that just means you end up not using the Dora if you get that route. It's also extremely dangerous if you have to discard it. Oh, and another
Oh, wait,
5-mon. This is
yeah.
brutal for Sanada. Extremely brutal. He's going to start folding, so even he, in his desperate position,
This is
decides
Tenpai,
it's
and
too
it's going to
much.
be a pursuit from
And
Kido.
dealer Riichi. He's got one Dora, so he's Riichi Dora 1, slightly ahead in value of Sugiura. I guess pretty far ahead because he's also the dealer.
Yes. Although if you
So
deal in,
one,
maybe not for too much longer.
yeah,
The
just
battle is
considering the
4-7 versus
relative
two
values
five.
of the hand. Oh, 7, so luckily that passes. Sugiura very, very concerned about that 7, so he's like, huh?
Do you know the really sad thing? The 7 pin now deals in, so even if Sanada manages to get a 10 push from this hand, there's a decent chance they just deal in.
Well, he's on 4 pairs now, and I think he's really thinking about 7 pairs as a way to keep pushing without
That's actually really, yeah, I like that route actually.
dealing. But
But
there's 2 Riichis, so normally 7 pairs is okay because you can discard whichever tile that's not paired up. But against two Riichis, he doesn't have any tiles that are safe against both.
That's very true,
And
yeah.
so really, even with the Mawashi, the rolling, the trying to go around and get a Tenpai while being safe, it's too hard to do against two Riichis who
Yes.
don't share too many of the same safe tiles.
Yeah, as circumstances have, a lot of their tiles are safe, but the
Right.
8 passing makes at least one more
Yes.
discard easy.
Gives him a little, and it's also not one of his pairs, so you can continue to move forward to Tenpai. I would not really expect Sanada to win, but maybe he can pull a Tenpai at draw if it gets there and
When
save
scores this
himself
close,
a
that
few
matters.
thousand points. Yes, and indeed you're right. It's so close that would matter. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to see it. And the dealer gets pushed forward, and Sugiura gets an Urodora.
Uradora.
That's going to put
So,
Sugiura in the lead.
exactly, yeah, that massive lead Kido had from the very start of the game been whittled away. It's still a good second, but
But could be
that's what
easily
happens when you
overtaken here.
yeah. And Sanada
Sugiura?
still in last place, but the gaps are still very small, I think.
That's
If anything, the
right.
gap to first place has gotten smaller.
Yes, 13,400, just a little more than a Mangan Sumo for Sanada. Looking at a Haneman Sumo. A little harder to do without red fives, but still possible. This hand is interesting. Sanada is west. So if he can make this hand closed already with a triplet of west, Haneman could be in the cards for him.
Is going at a breakneck pace, though. Sugiura, I believe, won away already.
Hmm.
And that, obviously, we see the same thing here from Sanada, one away.
Yeah, this is a huge hand from Sanada. Now has the chance for the Sanchoku, the mixed triple sequence. Woo!
I think it's really
Definitely
interesting how
Haneman
Kido's
potential.
managed to call for a very cheap hand. It's also at Tezuka. They're trying to add a Yakio on after their first call,
Right.
but when you have the scores this close, maybe 1,000 points going into all last, just having that little tiny lead is absolutely worth fighting for. They did that
Yeah.
white dragon though.
Better to be ahead than behind. Still has a small shot at also getting the red dragon. So that's like the backup plan, even though he's only has one. Oh, perfect
This is going to
drop
be a
for
reach.
Sanada.
And on the 8 of bamboo, we have that mixed triple sequence.
So far, it's just Reach and West, but mixed triple sequence would get it up to the 4 Han. Closed mixed triple sequence is 2.
Another advancement for Yajima.
No dice there. Ipatsumo would have been Haneman right off the bat.
You can't ask for too much sometimes, you know.
But
The
yeah,
important thing. Sorry, go on.
even a Mangan here would get Sanada above Yajima at least. He would still need to do some work in South 4 though. So really looking for the Haneman more than anything.
Yajima does have a fighting hand, which is almost it almost feels bad, right, when you see last place in reach and you've got
Right.
Dora 2 and you're like, "Ah, I want to push this." But
Yeah, it's a dangerous position.
multiple very unsafe looking tiles in that hand that we've got to push. Sugiura, though, managing to get another advancement, but doesn't take it, decides, you know what, I'm actually in top two. I'm fine with a top two finish. I don't need
Yajima goes in with his 2 Dora.
1 4 pin does it.
It's indeed safe. Oh, 8 pin. That's not a winning tile. Triple white. Kido doesn't want it. Kido
With
wants
2 reaches
out.
on the table, no reason to get too aggressive. But it's the one! The Ipat!
Ipatsu! No Ura,
Sanada
but
not having a great
Ipatsu
day
is
today.
huge. Yeah, that's tough. That's gonna make it very hard for Sanada to get out of last year for all serious.
He's in the lead now. It's Team DD
Although
Studio.
the scores are all lined up perfectly that if Sanada gets a Haneman Sumo now, he wins.
We were
They're
talking about this
all
earlier, right?
yes.
The ability to tell the game, "Yeah, I'd rather stop now. Can I just win?"
Mm,
It's very powerful, and we don't have that here. The game will continue even if Yajima manages to win 1,000
right.
points.
Yajima's hand is looking good, but it won't end the game like you said. And it's there's a little bit of value with Dora 6-mon, but it's not exceptionally valuable, so it'd only be a few extra points of insurance.
Yeah, Sanada has a pretty complete looking hand, but not enough value to really make it worth pushing.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Haneman Sumo is his magic number. Although a Mangan Ron would get him into third place, at least, from any player.
Yes.
Mangan Sumo
This
doesn't
is
do it though. Mangan Sumo doesn't keeps him in fourth. It's such an odd spot with the scores so balanced.
and that's one of the brutal things about this format, right? Because the score doesn't really matter unless it's a tie.
Yeah.
So you need a position. So you really need to try and like kind of maybe give up a bad tempai in this all last situation to try and aim for something a bit better.
Yeah, it's so funny. Mangan, you have to get a Ron, and Haneman, oh, you can get a Ron, but you'd prefer a Sumo on Haneman. Oh, is this
One
Sanchoku?
away. But is this where we cut 9 pin to add all simples just to get that extra hand of value?
That's one option. The other option is to really try and force some sort of mixed triple with a 6-7-8. You keep the 6,
But you can
5,
still do
6,
that by cutting the
7.
9 9, right?
Yes, it would just be extra long. You're right. It's
Yeah,
gonna do
exactly.
it because now you need to find a new pair and still make your mixed triples.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you draw a pair of six pin, I'd settle for less, but
that's
at
fair.
least I'd added one hand
Just try
worth of
and get
value.
that Mangan Ron. The only thing is he doesn't have Mangan without Riichi, so he can't sit outside of Riichi and try and get the hit. Because of course, if you are in Riichi and you sumo the tile and you can't take it, you're Furiten, so you can't Ron. So you basically have to take it and hope for Urodor.
Yeah, I think the odds are what 31% on average
Mm,
with Pinfu. So less
mm,
than 1 in 3, but there's a chance you flip Ura.
that's right.
Maybe that's the best choice you've got.
Yeah, because if you pass a Ron or you pass a sumo, you can't Ron anymore. So your win condition is gone. So that's your only win condition left is to go for Uro. So you have to just take it and hope, since
That
you
too.
won't be able to Ron. It's impossible in Furiten.
Kido
Four
has legit
copies of
tempo, by the way.
Chun. Four copies of Chun. He's not gonna do it, but he is gonna keep them. Maybe later.
I don't think Sugiura needs two hand, right? There's not okay, maybe a little bit more, but there's not really any motivation to take that Khan, I would say. Unless you really, really want that extra draw, I guess. But
Yeah, I feel like the extra draw could come in handy. But I'm sure he doesn't want to
oh,
give
it's a
Sanada
three
an
pin.
easy chance.
We're not gonna see a three pin get played, but it's one of the tiles that will end this match right here and right now, were it to
You
be
know,
played.
I think if Sugiura had a better hand, he would con, and I think that's why he's holding the con right now. This is not Tempai.
No.
It's 5 pairs. Possible Tanya. So Yajima has some options here.
You try and keep the
Yeah.
sequences. Do you keep
High
the betters?
efficiency. The Riemann discard is one option.
From first place, I almost don't want value, but at the same time, I want to get a big enough hand that I don't have to worry about the next repeats.
Right. Mhm. How good is 7 pairs here, really? Because that's now 2 Dora in hand.
Hmm.
He's going to give up on a pair.
Guess Riichi anything Dora 2 is
Yes.
still fine. Or
But
they
he
can
also
kill.
can't call because he didn't completely
Yeah.
give up on Tanya, but his current hand doesn't allow for Tanya. What a draw! This is Ishan 10.
Mm.
Fills the inside for Sugiura. Does he want to con or is he going to toss it? Oh, he grabbed the left tile. Usually that means he's going to drop it for the con. Oh, he just drops the 8
Instead, going for the
actually.
8. Okay.
He really wants the con alive.
Oh,
And out comes the Dora.
so
No
template
Riichi. Yeah,
1
even
4
though
4 gives the
he
pure
doesn't need the
sequence.
points necessarily, but oh, this is not great. This is not a Hanuman at all. This
Sanada
is
could make a switch to the pure straight.
barely even a Mangan. You're
What do you
right, the
do?
pure straight could come around and hope it doesn't become Furiten.
You would have to draw 8 and 9, and even then you would deal on the 4, so
Uh,
but you don't know that.
right. Although at least if he deals in, he'll get another chance to play.
I guess
Yajima
that's
only has
true.
one Dora because he discarded a Dora. Of course, Yajima discarding the Dora should set off some alarm bells. I think that's really why he's contemplating his tiles here. Yajima's probably Tenpai with the Dora discard. And Yajima's the dealer, so he doesn't know the hand is so cheap. He's gonna go into Tenpai, but I'm sure he can't really call Sumo. Kido,
That
though!
3 pin
Kido
out of
can call
nowhere,
Sumo. What a draw. And
but it is
Kido,
perfect draw. Gives Kido the win. You don't need huge value, you don't need a great weight, as long as you should just pull a little bit ahead of everyone else. What a huge win for Kokushimuso across Northland. Well played
yeah,
to Kido. Well played to Yajima as well. Getting a good second place here. Sugiura in third. And
everyone looking up into
unfortunately,
the lights. Now that the
yeah,
game's over, except Sanada. Sanada doesn't want to look up into the lights.
yeah, that's the look of I tried. I tried so hard.
He gave it a good go.
I was in
Unfortunately.
Tempai, I did the reach, but I just didn't actually draw the tiles. So how does that change the scores? It looks like Sirius is now in last place as Alban won their match, got 3 points.
We have some penalties being assigned, it looks like. That's a -3. Normally there are no minus points in the
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I think it might be
tournament.
an error on the organizer's part, would be my assumption, because there are some players who've got a +4,
That's
which
true.
isn't possible. Okay, I am informed that it's actually a Chombo mistake being played. I see.
So I'm assuming that the Chombo points go to the other players, the other teams. Is that why they get a +4?
That would be really interesting to find out. There's quite a few marks, so unless things
Yeah.
happened, because I see a lot of players with a little green tag.
Interesting.
Either way, that is very interesting. But we did see that Team DD Studio managed to get that +2, pulling the head just a little bit. And we see Northland get into the playoffs round 1 table B bracket. So congratulations to them. Obviously, they've still got 6 more games to go.
And Alban took a first place here, so all Sirius just swapped positions with them.
The gap's still very small, though. One game can do it.
1 point difference. DD Studio pretty far ahead, but number 9 jumping up there with that +4 from whatever rule was called.
Yeah, that's going to be Chiral from me. But we're only at the tips of the iceberg, because we'll be seeing in the next game Harrison and Jen. Maybe we should ask Jen what's going on. Jen, what's going on with those scores?
Oh,
But where is Jen?
I think Jen is actually running around frantically trying to figure out what is going on with those scores, if I had to guess. That's why she's not in the booth currently. That would make sense. That's a very Jen thing to do. You know?
Absolutely.
That's fair.
Our main producer. She will find out anything based on whatever. Yeah, or she will find out the information via any means necessary for herself. That much I can definitely tell you.
But yeah, what an interesting game though, right? We had one player get an early lead, and by the very last hand, all players being 2,000 points from each other. It's not a thing that happens very often in Mahjong.
No, especially
for it to catch up, but
for it to even out like that, especially with these pros, 'cause, like, I feel like a lot of the time too, like, especially when they're given a lead, the pros are so used to just playing back and like being very defensive, so it almost feels like a lot of the time it's chance for that catch up to happen. You're not seeing someone get the lead and then, you know, over push with it and give away all the points immediately. You're seeing them play back, play defensive, really think about what they're doing. So yeah, especially in these rules. With Uma only too, where you have even more reason just to sit back and defend the lead as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, one of the things I like to do when I'm playing a match, a format where points really do matter, is I try and like extend the lead as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, when I'm ahead, I tend to be more aggressive, which is almost a bad thing, I think, but it's something that I notice I do.
I mean,
when scores don't matter and it's just position, it's yeah.
I mean, that's why you see those like minus 170 score lines, because especially in all last, if you're in fourth, the only thing to lose is potentially tiebreaker, which EV wise, you're just always pushing ahead because getting a point is going to be infinitely worth more than trying to play for the tiebreaker.
I mean, that's exactly what we saw this game, right? Because in any other situation, you might take whatever reach you can get just to score maybe like 5 or 6 points. But we had them push the Sanshoku, potentially the Itsu, and all simples as well. Really, really greedy, but in this format, it's not actually that greedy. It's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Completely.
I suppose, what can we do while we wait for Jen?
Well, I mean, hey, we could recheck those standings. I know that's always interesting. And I mean, maybe even just theory craft a little bit more on like what happened and just look at the changes. Like, I forget if you guys mentioned it, but Alban and all Sirius swapped places. So now Alban is on the chopping board, which now puts like a 5-point difference because real partner and then Orfeu. I guess Orfeu didn't get any points, but Kokushimuso got 3, so they were able to jump up a little bit more. Dohaji dropped down. It's
that -3 there.
crazy.
I'm really curious to see.
So we did see this last week. We saw somebody Chambo, they know Tenrichi, it went to Ryukoku. And that team also, I believe, got 4th, and I'm pretty sure it was a -3 overall for the game at the end, which would lead me to believe that it's a -3 for the Chambo, as well as 0 points to negate it. So hypothetically, if you got a 1st in a Chambo, then you would go even at 0. That being said, the +4s are weird. I don't know what's going on with the +4s.
My assumption is that maybe the wrong score got put in between games 2 and 3. For the record, this isn't on our end. This is on the actual official broadcast's end. So
if they swap points around
on their materials,
they just kept giving Dohaji extra points, and they're like, "Oops, gotta redistribute those where they're supposed to be."
But yeah, either way, the +4s is interesting. But the fact that those 3 are the ones highlighted makes me think of that. That's the interesting thing that's going on.
Yeah, or maybe some sort of like penalty thing that they took a point away from and then decided later that it was undeserved or something. I can see that potentially being it. With tiebreakers, though, I want to bring that up. City Plus and AMC Dental, who both got +1 point, might actually be extremely relevant. Because if those two teams stay tied heading into the last 7 games, right now City Plus is ahead by 5.9 points. And that line, the 3rd and 4th line, is huge. Oh my goodness. Imagine making it to playoffs round 2 on just the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, I think it was literally 100 points going into the 3rd game today. Which you cannot get closer than that.
The only closer would be the tie in general, which I don't know if what happens if the earned points tie. Who knows? You'd assume most first.
For other events, right?
Yeah, like most first, and then maybe least first. But in a
league I run, and the very last one, I know we're never going to get there. Is just we play a game of Minefield Mahjong.
Yeah, right. Or it's just like coin flip 3 times or something after a certain point.
Like, if you had exactly the same score, exactly the same number of wins, exactly the same number of each other, or against each other, and another tie. Like, what else can you do to decide who wins?
Yeah,
Flip
right,
a coin?
right.
That's boring.
Shinichi chest over Zoom.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Well, I think we are going to go on a little bit of a quick break while we figure out what's going on with commentary. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We will be back in just a minute. Gonna make sure next game is queued up all proper. Be sticking to it. Expect us back in less than 5 minutes. So just sit tight for a little bit, y'all.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We found her, Jen, scrambling around. I'm sure you were marching to the Saikyosen judges, trying to figure out what was going on with the point situation. Ran all the way there and back before the commentary block you had. Such a notable cause, such a hard worker you are.
I don't know about that. But yes, scores will resolve by the end of the stream, I've been told.
Okay.
But yeah, there were some yeah. So some of the tables had not finished. I think 2 of the tables had not finished. Oh, one of the tables had not finished.
Yeah.
And then there was a problem with the one before. We said this at the end of the stream yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There's an extra first place listed somehow. And then if there's our penalties, we also don't have that information unless it happens on stream. So our penalty was, we did see one, it was -3 points.
For Dohashi, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
that
we
was-
figured for that. And then
Well, for this one, I'm not sure if that was that for this actually. But in one of the earlier streams, like on a different day.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
The -3. The so the +4s are like score adjustment. Basically, they were owed more points.
Yeah, I think there weren't enough second places, and there was an extra third place, or it was
something weird.
Yeah, there was something weird. So I saw it while making the screens, but we don't have really any way of knowing what it was. So
yeah.
And I don't think they actually noticed it on the Japanese stream because they're not. The announcers are not checking, right?
Yeah, right. Well, either way, glad to have you. Huge shout outs again to Kyril and Tips. Fantastic work as always. And I want to know, Jen, about these players who are coming on in to our next game that we're going to see. Can you introduce them for us?
I'm in the East seat from 4 Seasons Memorial and Dateru. Yeah, that's right. Is Chifumi Yamawaki, and she kind of shows up everywhere. I think she's in the A League of JPML's Women's League, and she will be at WRC, as far as I know. She's played in like M Tournament and lots of other things. Yoshiki Ishii from Real Partner. I don't have a lot of information about him. He's JPML. Toru Yajima is like the star of this stream, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, was in here last game, so.
We have watched him more than any other player in Saikyosen Team Battle, I think. Because DD Studio is always the featured table, or the featured team, since they're always in first place. From MPM. Also, so this is somebody that we went to Macau with. And for some reason, he wouldn't trust me about about something about customs. He had to ask a guy, and believe my answer. And after that, we've always been like kind of on really good terms. So he's always smiling, really sweet guy. And then Kotaro Tashiro, husband of Kozue Miyauchi, who's also on the same team, Orfeu. And I mean, that's kind of his claim to fame.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Very fair. Hey, we're about to see if we can get some more in this next game. And let's honestly just run right into it. I am super duper excited to see what these players are going to show us on this table today. Yeah, now that we're starting to get into the latter parts, like really towards the end scenarios for this, I imagine games are going to get so much more dire for teams depending on situations. We were talking about it beforehand, but the teams in 3rd and 4th have the same amount of points, and right now are separated by about 5 points And the tiebreaker would matter for who gets third over fourth, which normally it's just, you're maybe in a different bracket or something, but third and fourth is huge. Third skips to round 2 and fourth still has to play in round 1. So major advantage in winning that tiebreaker that may come into effect in the later
There's
parts.
a few kind of in poker there would be like a pay jump.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's super, super meaningful. But 7 more games to play before that.
7 more. It's it's not that many,
I
considering how I mean
mhm.
everything has happened this month, so it feels like it's happened really quickly.
Yeah.
But uh, just one more session after today, it's gonna come up quick.
See, speaking of quick, Yamawaki in the dealer, the pilot seat decides she's going to open up nice and fast, try and retain that dealership, pushing a Dora Honitsu. Looks like it. Maybe also just going to play shape with that hanging Dora now that the 4-5 is picked up. Calls the Hatsu open. Looking to be nice and quick. And really, I don't think the rest of the shape at the table is going to be able to match that speed. We're looking at Tashiro's hand, which looks not too bad, but Yamawaki, especially with that Pinzu pick right there, is threatening Tempai any second now. And we will see the pawn still Ishanten, but floating Dora to play off of, even the Pinzu to play a less valuable hand, but still retain the dealership with Hatsunomi.
So yesterday I was commentating on the WRCR League with
Hmm.
Garth on the JPML English channel, and they have a new display, which I think they're going to incorporate into the other streams that we cover eventually, but they show
Ooh.
the call on the overlay.
Yes, that's right. I remember you
Yeah,
talking about that. That would be super cool to see for sure. Especially because the camera angle just a lot of the time sometimes doesn't even get it on not just the player's perspective, but the player's before perspective.
it's right there, right
Yeah.
behind Ishii-san
And we can and
face.
was that a Tempai from Ishii? Did I see that right?
I was looking at how his face was covering the call.
The
So
hand the
it's
hand
like right here.
looks good.
Not not
No, not
not
quite. Very
quite.
close. Good
Yeah,
Ishanten though.
an extra block, which is why he'll go ahead and release the north,
Hmm.
which is also safe.
I was even going to play the Amon, check it. Wants to keep that north in case somebody reaches or there's any worries on the board, just so he has a guaranteed safe tile. Ooh, San Menchan pickup. Now we are on 3-6-9 pin, which let me tell you, with 3-8 pin scene, looks super good for Yamawaki. Sure, players will see that 7 pin thrown from hand, that Tadashi from Yamawaki, and think, oh, maybe a little dangerous, but Ishii reads it as cheap, has a good Ishan 10 for like a reach pin fu. I believe Dora 2 pushes, steals in, but 1500 not the most expensive. You can recover from that.
Yeah, 1500. You're gonna if you can read that it's 1500, and you have a hand that's worth a little bit more, you are probably gonna deal into that every time.
Yeah, good trade. Said I got a lot more to play for than you do, and especially with the quick open call and then Dora drop from hand later for Yamawaki. Definitely looks like it's just super cheap. Most likely Hatsunomi, maybe Dora 1. Speaking of Yamawaki, very quick hands. Has a lot of speed. Yajima also going to have that quick pinfu shape. Looks like it's going to take more time for Tashiro and Ishii to catch up in terms of speed. What do you think about Ishii's hand when it comes back around? Not playing like one mon or some other tiles that may have a little bit better time playing shape and keeping some more honor tiles that might be safer or kind of catch people off guard.
The Mons are way too much in the middle.
Think so?
The Mons? And Ishii's in those 4, 7, 8, 8, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's tempting to just kind of get rid of the floating 4, but it's really, he doesn't have enough blocks. So it's going to be a lot more beneficial to keep. The 4 is just so versatile and
Yeah.
so many things can stick to it.
And we do have the Riichi from dealer Yamawaki. I believe that was 4 so? No, not 4 so. It was some Kanchan, I believe. Weapon coming up. Was a Tenpai dropping 7 pin, didn't like it. We're on 7 mon. Dora Kanchan, gonna be very hard to pull. Especially with 2 already on the board. And we have Dama 10.
2 in the hand. Oh, that's what you mean by on the board
Yashima.
is in the hands. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 in the hand, excuse me. So, I mean, still though, not 2 that I cannot think are going to Yamawaki.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference is it's not visible to her, but it's visible to us.
Oh, but we're
Oh,
gonna Riichi trying the Dora, taking the
yes.
good shape on the reach Tanyao, and we deal into dealer.
Yeah,
Luckily, Urdora
he was
misses.
Tenpai even, like, he could keep the Dora and stay Tenpai waiting for the middle 6 character, but chose the better way
I
and
mean,
push that Dora.
I
Yeah,
th-
that's interesting.
I think the thinking could have been too that if you deal in on the 5 mon, then that deals into the 5, 8, 6, 7 Ryanman, which one Dora deal in anyway, and you could add Pinfu, could add Tanyao, many things. And if you push the Dora, odds are it's like Dora Kanchan or Penchan, which only takes the one Dora, unless it's like a Pinfu on Dora 4/7, or it's on like a Nobeton 4/7 with Dora. So most of the time, still a one Dora deal in, but you have a much better shape afterwards than reaching on a Dora that'll never come out. And happens to deal in. Always that one that you're trying to keep, especially with it being the Dora, the risk, but I believe that was Yajima decided it was worth it to try and push, even against Steeler.
Yajima's team is way ahead of all the other teams in this table. Doesn't
Definitely.
really have to worry about losing to them
Yeah.
in this game, but the other teams that are right on his tail are playing at different tables right now. That's one
hmm
of the things that I love about this competition. It's very different from the Sankei Shimbun Cup, where the same 4 teams are playing against each other the entire season. At In this format, each team you play against a different team each game. Everybody is scrambling around. It makes the tournament take a lot more time
hmm
every day, and there are a lot fewer teams, so it's easier to do. But I mean, it's only 16 teams, right?
Yeah.
I think we have 15 brackets, so 15 times 4, 60 teams in Sankei Shimbun Cup. So
hmm
it's a very different scale, but
So it looks like everyone's kind of just shaping up the hands. We do see this Dora pair from Ishii, but rest of the hand's still a little bit clunky, especially compared to the others. Yajima needs to pick up some shape. Same for Tashiro. All the blocks found, but not quite there. And Yamawaki decides to opt out these Sal's, doesn't even want to mess around with a Chi toy shape. Anything weird like that says I want to just play my normal efficiency, which South is by far the most efficient thing to cut there. Even with the pair, and I guess you have 2 out already, so especially you're not going to take a double pair weight. with South as part of it.
When in doubt, the honor tiles are generally most efficient.
Hmm. Especially when you pick up the second pair with the seven so's, like I think theory suggests you're never supposed to have more than two pairs at any time unless you have five doing like honors before it. So, or at least max efficiency says that's what you're supposed to do. We are going to see Yajima trying to fix some of that shape. Not quite there. Big 5-so pickup, but man, Tashiro has so many more tiles to get. Oh, but now we've drawn a fourth pair, and we're going to throw it right back. Same as last time we got that fourth pair. Interestingly, Ishii did not want the Chitoi hedge. Did not want to keep 7-pin and go that way. With Dora 2 not being able to be Tanyao called either, with it being one Mons, just a little bit too hard. Wants to try normal shape. And Yajima's going to take first Riichi on 5-8-so. I believe Sanshoku on the 5-so as well. Yep, it looks honestly, what is that? 1 and 1? There's
It's
1-8
Tenpai
on the
as well.
board. Ooh.
One tile off for the bamboos for the Sanshoku. It does not take it.
Yeah, the weights seem pretty rough.
Weight is rough and the value is just not there at all.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually only 1 5-so left. 3 8s are in hands, 3 5s are in hand, and there's 1 8 on the board. So odds are this goes through Yukoku. Can't see any of these players pushing 5-so. Second 5-so we're thinking. I'd imagine though, if Tashiro's going to push, would push 4-pin or something, but just opts to play completely safe. Drops a 5. Says not worth it.
When you see players making the decision whether to chase with a reach, the main three factors that are going to be involved are speed. And if it's chasing reach, they're already losing in speed, so that doesn't even come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Score and weight. So this has to be worth enough or have a really good weight.
Yep, and everybody else folds out. Yajima going to be the one to collect 1K from each player with the stick donation in the middle. Is going to push Yamawaki off dealership. Yajima is going to be able to reclaim some of those points he gave away. And we go to Ishii's dealership. Sixmon coming out as Dora and Ishii. Nice little Haku pair. We'll be able to play quick with it. Problem is, rest of the shape leaves a bit to be desired, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think score-wise. If he might even wait for the second one.
Mm-hmm. Skip the first. I mean, there is something to be
Yeah,
said.
Sanshoku shape now.
Yeah, there's also 1900 in the middle too. So with an extra 2K for any winning hand, that's kind of meaningful. Oh, and now with that shape, may skip the first just to chase a Riichi. Oh my goodness. Ishii has just hit absolute amazing draw after amazing draw. Ishanten right now, I don't think on a double pair. Nope, just on normal shape, so wouldn't be able to win off the Haku, but on a 5-pin draw, it could reach on a 2-5-8 weight in the
The 2
Pinzu.
for Sanshoku, a mixed sequence shape as well.
Ooh, yeah.
I
A lot of good
think, yeah,
tempai.
that's incentive to not call the white dragon even if it comes out.
Yeah.
If you draw something like another, if his 6 or 7 dot pairs up, and he
Hmm.
can pull and have a pair. But a lot of times, the pros won't pull into headless, especially when it's all open ended.
Hmm. Oh, 3 Dora now for Yajima. That's gonna be. I felt like the shape was kind of weird for that. Could be wrong. Oh, and we're gonna see the slam. Yep. Riichi 258 pin for Riichi Nomi, but on 2 pin will be Sanshoku. Would be a huge hand as well as the rest in the middle. All 3 so pair. Can we push Shonpai Haku? Not seen Haku is not play. We're going to throw the Souths, much safer. Seeing 2 of them and it being off Yaku High Wind for the dealer.
Squeeze the white dragon, little they know it's the one that doesn't deal in. I
Mm-hmm.
think we'll see the white dragon come out
I'd
eventually.
imagine.
There it
Oh,
is,
yep.
yeah.
Tashiro's going to do
You
it.
start running out when you start running out of safe tiles and you have good shapes, then it happens.
I mean,
Usually it goes straight to the honor tiles, is what I'm trying to say.
according to Riichi Book 1, I believe the odds of a deal in on Dragon are about 10%. Or on any honor. So, 9 out of 10 times, roughly, you're completely fine pushing those. Oh, we are going to see that call mid for Yajima. Locks in the 3 Dora, goes Ishanten. Definitely wants to win that hand for the Mangan. Locked, loaded, orbital cannon.
I'm going to confess I have recommended Reach Break One. I've never actually read it.
Reach Book 1 is very good for new players. Ooh, we also have Tempai on the 2 Mon for Tashiro. Was able to find that Chitoi Tempai. I believe Chitoi Tanya have a little bit of value there. Riichi Book 1 is very good, though, when you're starting out. Specifically, I would say, just because it gives you baselines. So, for instance, do you play Chitoi or Toy Toy? Do you Riichi or Dama? It has kind of quick little guidelines saying, here's 3 conditions. If you meet 2 of them, do this. If you don't, do the other thing. And a lot of just really easy fundamentals. And Tumon comes out, and we are going to see a snipe from Tashiro, just Chitoi Tanyao. I believe just 32, right? Which I guess plus the Homba, that would be 41.
Exactly that.
Ooh, and
Yeah, the screen
Yajima, Dora
picks
3.
up the 2, Reach 6 from the table.
That's a massive win for Tashiro. Shuts down a possible 3-Han hand from dealer Ishii. Shuts down Dora 3 Tempai from Yajima. Also gets all the sticks in the middle. Massive swing there. That is huge. Huge. Yajima, though, not the worst shape. Going into East 3 on dealership. Yamawaki's at least slow. Ishii needs a little bit of help. Or no, that was Yajima's hand. Yajima's hand needs a little bit of help, but Ishii's hand's at least slow. Yamawaki's going to need some draws to help out, too. Ooh, big 5-pin pickup. I believe Ishanten threatening a Tempai. Maybe not quite there. Ooh, decision time. Yamawaki's cutting a little aggressive, saying, I'll play Honitsu. Give you the right tiles. Oh, and super interesting cut. Decides to kill the 9-mon.
Also getting really close to that full straight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just missing the 4. Also has
Oh,
a pair, so there's that 4. It comes
Wall
over here.
Reader. Yeah, we just have the Ipeiko shape draw and the pairs for Chitoi Shanten as well. I should have just read the wall and known
And
that was going to get
this is
drawn.
why we wanted the 4. No, I wanted it for Yamawaki's hand.
Oh, well, Yamawaki
That's
too could
what
definitely use
I
it.
wanted it.
Problem is that Yajima's the one who drew it, and Yajima's gonna get some weight after that. I'll set aside on this 3. Ooh! Goes for a full Tanyo shift. Doesn't like playing the Dora, wants to keep it, wants the value too.
Maki-san has gotten to that point in a half flush hand where she's now discarded a complete sequence in the bamboos.
Mhm. Definitely
And
sets off flags to the other players.
it's just testament to how slow the flush hand can be.
Mhm.
Just discarded the 1, 2, 3 bamboo.
Could call. I was gonna say the ugly Tenpai, but might take the Haku Tonki and does. What a creative call. I love that. I think normally my gut would say at least to pass that, but I think Haku Tonki here is super good. Oh, and now we have Awkward Lands for Yajima. Could drop 7 Mon and do a little bit of hedging. Even could drop 6 Mon and play a good Ishanten, knowing Dora's probably cooked. He's gonna drop 7 Mon and opt for the Chitoi hedge.
I think that's what you want to do. Is only one away. You're gonna have to get rid of a couple extra tiles if you don't keep the Chitoi hedge.
I think no, I think you had Ishanten dropping like 6 Mon.
Yeah, but the
But you'd have to drop
shapeshifters.
Dora, yeah, and the shapes are not great. But I mean,
Drop
something is
Dora,
dealing,
you end up
right?
with a 4/5 Shabo, and 4/5 Shabo, the 4/5 like pair weight, we have 2 of each, is
Yeah,
kind of. I think that's my least favorite weight of anything. I'm happier with like a 5 middleweight,
it is pretty
like a single 5
atrocious.
middleweight.
Either way, Yamawaki gonna clean up with the Honitsu, 3 Han with the Hatsu and the Pinzu. Sneaky little Haku weight. And ooh, it's an interesting hand. Little clunky. We'll have to see how it turns out. Oh, 4 pairs, 5
That's
pairs.
my
Never
boy.
mind. Chitoi Shanten for Ishii. Boy, Tashiro's hand a little clunky too.
You keep pairing things up after you've already chosen a direction for the hand, then and that's what everybody is doing. Pair up, pair up, pair up.
Yeah, just hitting these random pairs.
Kanchan.
He's kind of, well, I guess I have nothing better to take, so I guess I'll take this for now.
The hands are moving slowly along. It's a good time to remind everybody that we will be covering the World Reach Championship starting on Tuesday with the reception.
Mhm.
Um, July 1st. So it's going to be June 30th for some of you. Although it's at night, so I think it will have already, the date will have already changed. It's going to be a very late stream for everybody, like 6 p.m. Japan. Is that 5 a.m. Eastern?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Are you going to be up for it?
Maybe if I set my alarm. We'll see. Who
So
knows?
Garth and Kyle Curley will be covering the opening ceremony along with Ray Kawakami. I'll be on stage interpreting, so I won't be able to cover the stream, but it will be streaming from my computer. We'll see if I can come up with a good opening scene this weekend.
Oh boy, good luck on that. Have to work your magic. Ooh, so many interesting things happening on board too. Pair ups all around. We have Ishii with 2 Ankos. Debated on calling that Formon for the Toy Toy Tenpai. Did not like it. Wants to try to draw for more greatness. And we have calls from our dealer Tashiro that is now Tenpai as well.
The middle 7 character. Second time we've seen the middle 7 characters, not Dora this time.
Yeah, may come out a little bit easier. Although now with that 7-8, Yamawaki
They kind of
locks
locked
it
into the
in.
hands they're in here.
Maybe
Yeah.
for Yajima, but Yajima's hand is so far back and there's so many other pairs. It feels like 7 Mon is one of the least likely candidates.
I mean, if 9, yeah, if 9 were to end up being the pair in Yajima's hand, 7 could come out, but I don't
Would
see
it
that
take like
happening with all the
Anko
other
back
pairs.
to back or something? Five pin. If we were thinking about it, wanted to swap, we could have gone there. But yeah, Tachiro's like, nope, Tenpai is Tenpai. I will stick here and I will like it. So not going to do it. Let's Yamawaki clear out 7 from their hand, but does not opt to just yet. Dora West taken there. Does not like the late drop. Ooh, and 7 Mon pair. Yamawaki on Tenpai. Might have to drop that. We'll see, though. She's still a little far. Oh, there's Anko 1, and Dora is the decision. We could see 7 here. Could also see 9 Mon. Nope, gonna play Dora. Throw that out first.
Imagine if he dealt into another middle 7 character. Wait.
Well, again, round's not over yet. We'll see if we
He
have to
could.
imagine. Oh, and there's the back-to-back. I mean... Oh, you could also drop 6 Mon for the E-Peiko or Safe 9. Yep, for 5-8. Yep.
Yeah, for the open-ended, not...
Doesn't want the San Anko try or anything like that, too. Says 2 Ankos, I'm not going to get a third.
I mean, there are 9s on the board already. I don't think there
Yeah.
was... 1, 2... I think the other 2 9s are both on the board.
Ah, yeah. So it just
it
being the
isn't really...
4, too. It'd be tough.
If you're reaching with a Shabo weight, you definitely want to have an edge. Like, I was just, yeah, saying that the 4 Shabo is just
Tenpai on 1 Mon, 4
hell.
Mon. For Suanko, I think there's one of each left in the wall. 6 not going to deal in. We are going to Chi for Tenpai, though, dropping the 8, which is going to deal in. Oh, no, we're going to drop 8 pin. I guess moving Tenpai. 5 Mon comes out, though, and that's going to deal in. Riichi's with the Suanko try. Ah.
That's his teammate in the commentary booth.
He's going, Yajima. So close.
Is that his teammate? Is that Yamawaki's teammate?
I think it's Yamawaki's. There might be one of the others.
They have the same uniform, right?
Yamawaki has the same uniform, I believe.
Yeah.
Unsure about the other people in the commentary.
The other 2 are just the commentators, and they usually have one guest player in the booth.
Ah, I see, I see. Oh, wow. What a hand for Tashiro.
Oh, yeah, it was...
Ooh. Yamawaki gets the quick East call as well. Able to threaten Dora much easier and just quickly speed up the hand.
It's from, yeah, so it's Yamawaki's teammate in the booth, and he was lamenting that she was not able to win the Tenpai that she got so early.
Happens, right? I mean, at least didn't deal into any of the monsters. Not like Tashiro off dealership, too. Still not in a terrible position. Able to pick up the Ryoncon to help speed a little bit.
She's in first place still, and and it brings it to her dealership. It's good to move the dealership away from Tashiro.
Ooh, Ishanten for Tashiro, though, could threaten a Riichi on the board. That'll be a rough response. Yeah, Yajima's hand with 2 Dora hasn't shaped up just yet, but definitely feels like it wants to. Oh, and Ishii's just full on Chitoe. Doesn't want anything to do with anything else. Oh, we are going to call Dora upon. Clunky Ryan Shanten, though, with it for Yajima. Definitely a bit more of a what's the phrase? Looking scarier than it actually is. It's like there's some phrase for it. It'll come to me. I'm
I
sure
don't
it's
know.
someone
The
will
only
think
thing
about
comes
it.
to mind right now is like Scarecrow.
Yeah, like a little bit of a scarecrow. There's definitely another one. It'll come. It'll come like halfway down the line. I'll go, oh, and say it, and it won't apply at all. That's how it always goes. Ooh, Tenpai too. Very interesting decision for Tashiro and opts to Damaten on 7 Mon for Sanshoku. Wants to
Man
shut
is a
down the
child
manga.
today.
Yeah, 7
Waiting on
Mon.
7-month gut shots. It's a pentom, but same gut shot sort of concept. The middleweight,
Mm-hmm.
side weight, just one tile that can win it.
Ishii has not made really any progress. Oh, and that's Tenpai finally found for Yajima on Tuso right now. 5 pin, is that going to be the one to do it? We have a little bit more foo. We are going to take the extra foo, but we're still going to Dama on the 7. That Dora, scary, scary. Oh, and this 5 so too. We're debating. We see the Tadashi from Yajima. We're thinking this might be a Tenpai, and we drop the 7, and it deals into Tashiro, your direct competitor, but Sanshoku with 40 food, 26. Definitely not a great feeling, but much better than dealing into Yajima's Dora 3 if Tuso was dropped.
Right, we have a new term,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see if I've been testing it on my co-commentators this week.
Okay.
All right, so we have Sotogawa,
Sure.
like the defensive term. If your opponent has discarded like 7 or 8 very early in
Yep.
the discards, then the 8 or 9 can be considered safer.
Yep.
So what if the second and third discards are the 4 and 5? Or 4 and 6, sorry. 4 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And later they reach, so you figure 5 is safe. What would you call that?
If I had to give it a term, I would call it borrowing from the idea of a Go term, false eye, and probably call it Fakogawa or something like that.
Pikoga was good.
Because it
So it's playing at the dojo with everybody. Okay, go
Mhm.
ahead, because yeah.
I was gonna say it's definitely like a not real thing. Like you could argue maybe early 6 and like a 7 after, but like there's so many situations where you draw into it that you would need at least a tile or two in between that early 6 and later on to justify something around it as safe.
All right. We were playing at the dojo. There are like 20 people from like
Mhm.
visitors at the dojo, at the JPML dojo on Thursday. Everyone was there. I have a
Mhm.
big group photo that we showed on yesterday's Saikyosen stream. But so the term that came up there was double inside Sotogawa, which I just thought was just so clever and funny and
Hold on,
ridiculous.
just well, then you gotta have a fun acronym. So that would just be DIS, right? Which I guess is like fun
Yeah.
enough. You could maybe swing that.
I mean, Sotogawa literally just means outside, so we
Yeah.
don't actually say it in Japanese, because it's just not specific enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sotogawa would be like all
Yeah.
the outs, like any 8s or 9s, mostly 9s and 1s. But um, so when you're saying double inside Sotogawa, like is not Sotogawa at all, right? And plus the double, I just thought It just made me like laugh so hard at the table.
Funny
And
vernacular
then
nonsense
and
and
nobody
English
I love that
involvement.
sort of humor. And then yeah, it really doesn't translate as well a day later when I'm explaining it to someone else.
Ooh, Ishii threatening some Tenpai with this scary looking Honitsu that is now Tadashing honors from hands, but as we can see, still not very far along. And what
Yajima is just the flesh is just not
that's what I was
coming
thinking.
together. He had called while I was talking, but still so far just so many honors that won't pair up.
Ooh. Now able to shift the Ishanten. The question is, do we think we can get away with 5-6 cut? Answer, no. I cut 5-6 so. And with that third 7 out, seems like a good move. 4 as well. Lot of vindication for dealer Ishii. Still at least Ryan Shanten for Yajima. This far into it. Do the other players know it? Of course not. Could they ever know? Probably not.
Again, yeah, it's hard to tell from these discards because everything is Smogiri. He's discarded all of his draws and nothing from the hand.
Well, we've seen, I think, 2 honored Tadashis at this point, but normally you're thinking, surely Tenpai just now.
I mean, if they other players have a hand, they're gonna push until they
Yeah.
see an extra Manzu come out.
Ooh, and a little bit of backfire there. Isn't brave enough to push one of the off wins or the 3-mon. Would be Tenpai right now, but Yamawaki misses it. Still has a chance to draw into it before the end of the round, though. So it's going to get pushed. Tashiro says, nope, can't swing it. Now Yamawaki, not scared by that late 5-pin from Tashiro, says, I can still play this, should be fine. I mean, this is kind of looking like everybody no 10. Tashiro's out. Yamawaki has found a half flush. Still needs to
And
get
she's still
Tenpai.
not quite Tenpai. She's closer than Yajima though.
That is pretty funny. Oh, 9 says not gonna do it. Completely safe. And I think we go to Ryukoku and nobody's Tenpai. 6-0, not gonna do it.
Is she just
Oh,
Tenpai?
North. Wait, was North not the call? I thought it was West North. Maybe it was Southwest. Well, nobody Tenpai. Okay, free rounds.
I have a replay on my phone. And the replay is the stream is actually a little bit delayed.
Oh boy. Oh boy, what do we got? Ooh, good hand for Yajima, it looks like. I believe Junchan with the Sanshoku chance down the line. At least a Ishanten, I believe, from the get-go. Can't hate that with a dealer high pie, even if the shapes are clunky.
It was the
Oh,
west and the south that she was waiting to call.
okay. And
Yeah,
we are
there's
going to
no
have
way she would have
immediate
let it go.
Riichi. 4-7. Woo.
So, but Tashiro's shapes are really good as well, and that the reach is so early. Probably not gonna see just straight folds quite yet.
Mm-hmm. I
'Cause there's
mean,
just not enough information to fold with.
that's theory. Theory suggests early Riichi, you can ignore it for a while. That's what people say, even as dealer. Now, I
I
try
mean,
to
the
do that
reasoning.
and then deal in. Well, yeah, you have nothing safe to go on, right?
Well, you don't want to deal in while you're folding. That's considered pretty much the worst thing that you can possibly do in Mahjong.
Mm,
In Reach Mahjong is deal in while you're trying to fold and your hand and breaking up your own hand.
mm-hmm.
So if you deal in, you want to be at least leaving a shot for yourself to win the hand.
Yeah. And when you have nothing to fold on, it's like, well, might as well improve my hands, roll some dice.
Yeah, your hand is always going to be the priority if you cannot fold safely.
We're not going to do it. 4-7 actually looks surprisingly held. I believe that's 3 of
These
them,
players are
although
just that 7.
looking loose.
It's
Not this
floating.
turn, but next turn, looking rough. Another 7 there. Oh, I guess there's still 2 of each. Yeah, still 2 of each, so not as bad as I initially thought.
Well, we know for sure there's none on the board.
Yeah.
And it's 6-6 to it.
This might save. You could drop 1 2-mon. Oh, and we're even going to go 7-8 pin.
Yeah, but I kind of like the 1-2-mon, but what are we? So 1-2-mon is on like a board with no reach.
Yeah.
So when the reach is on the board, you have to
Maybe
think about a
6
few more
pin. Nope.
things.
Safe 7-mon. I believe 9-mon is fairly safe for Tashiro. Because I think 7 is Kabe. 1 in front of the dealer, other 3 there. Oh, and now this is awkward. Is going to check the 9, passes. Very soft check, would not deal in. 2 Dora shape and Kabe off by the 7. The 7, can we suss it out? We'll drop 6 pin. We do not like the Sozu. Expensive suit on the board.
They're drawing Yajima's winners. It's just that they're fitting into their hands so easily. Yeah, they're kind of worried about the 1-2. That's why Yamawaki didn't discard it to lock in the pair.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of lower Manzu out, so it makes a lot of sense.
Tashiro here could have discarded it for a really nicely shaped hand that 1-2 character, but chose to keep it, so a little bit spooked by that Suji right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ishii not though.
Yep, says, I'll push the 1. Works out.
Oh, the 3 fills in for Tashiro. Nice.
Tempai on 4-7 pin, I believe. I'm just going to take the Dama for Pin Fudora. Unless I misread the hands. I'm not going to do it. Nope. 7 pin, actually, too. Sanshoku. That would be Mangan.
Why his hand felt short to me. Like, it wasn't at all, but. Yeah, my glasses on so the tiles look smaller than usual.
Oh, yeah, that'd do it. So safe. Another 9 pin. That 7 pin is not coming out. I think there's... Are they still on the wall, actually? Or are there just still 3? There's just still 3 in the wall.
The
Or I guess
Tenpai
2 in the
also
wall.
for
Yeah.
Ishii. Ishii is Tenpai with a Shabo waiting for the white dragon and.
What a great read by Tashiro. What a
I think it's the only
laydown.
Suji that's not out. And everybody got lucky enough to avoid just the 4-7 bamboo Suji. So eventually everyone could read that that was the weight.
Yeah, that was the bad one. They were like, how much Suji do we have left? Pretty much just this pair. Okay.
You can't count the Suji.
I'm so bad. I never count
Also
Suji.
explained in my book, not Reach Book 1, but
Ooh.
Reach Mahjong, the only way to play.
Mm-hmm. Is it 32 pairs? Is that the right number?
You count 18 Suji.
Okay.
So there's 6 for each suit and the 3 suits.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so if there's a 5, it counts as 2 Suji.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's not bad. 18. I always thought it was like 32. I should probably actually start counting that in games.
Yeah, the 4, 5, and 6 all count as double Suji for the Suji counting.
So we're shaping up hands. It looks like Yajima's got a decent one. Tashiro as well has the quick Hatsu. Able to snap call if desired. Looks like Ishii is going to be looking to clean up quick hand. Ishanten for dealer Yajima as well for a Riichi. I think that was Dora 1. Aku coming out. Not going to do too much. Does not have a Dora yet, but could definitely use one for our dealer Yajima. Still looking to break the Ishanten for Tashiro.
Is this to break the middle weight and not the side weight? Sort of against theory, but it was the Sanzo weight that he kept. Oh, was I looking at what
So,
Yamawaki? I was looking at maybe Yamawaki and not Tashiro. That is where not wearing glasses comes in. Yeah, Tashiro has the nice shape in the Manzu, not the middleweight that Yamawaki discarded.
we do see 7 Mon drop by Yamawaki too. Nobody calls. Could tell the board it'll be a cheaper hand. And a couple players fishing for Ishanten. We are going to see a West call. Now that we have Hatsu Anko. Take our better open
Just went
Ishanten.
away. Yeah, went away with lots of calling options. Yamawaki will
Although
call again as well.
3 5s and another 2 dropped in that one turn. All of a sudden, made away. It's much, much worse for our dealer, Yajima.
South 3 already. It's been flying by this game. The first game was so fast.
Oh my goodness, yes. Like, wasn't prepared. I was like, hold on, we're done? Especially in this rule set without a hard timer. In Sanke
Yeah, there's
Shibun,
no time limit.
or in Sake Shibun, you can expect it. Like, it might go a little bit longer, but in this one, we've had what, like 100-minute games before? Maybe even one that went to like 110 minutes.
They've been some of them have been really, really long. Lots and lots because these players are oh, that's
Tenpai
Senpai.
Dama 2-5 so, which yeah, is pretty bad. Definitely Dama that. We also have Tenpai on 5-8 Mon with the Dora for Tashiro.
A lot of these players are so used to playing each other, so used to each other's play styles that they can fold really effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And so you end up with a lot of continuances, a lot of dealer repeats, and a lot of Ryukyoku. And when you end in exhaustive draws, then it just takes so much longer for the hand to end.
Yeah.
So in this team battle, you're gonna see a ton of really long games. So when you get a treat, a little 45-minute game. I mean, I do enjoy covering the long ones, but sometimes they get really long. And so it feels nice to have a little
It's
short
it's
one.
nice to have a difference in pace, right? Just a fast one. Break things up, really show the variety of games that can come on board these teams can play. Yajima is going to clean up to from, I believe that was Ishii. Ishii pushes the Tenpai, ends up dealing into dealer. It's 35 after the home, but definitely not the worst hit, but not the best without a dealership left.
And Yajima was having a rough time dealing in a lot, and his hands just not
Mhm.
completing. But now he's really within just one more hand of first place, and not even a massive hand. It can just be a mid hand, mid bro.
Just a little bit, just a little small one, especially on a sumo. Should be noted too for this hand in the top left that information is incorrect. We are at South 3, repeat 3. There is no reach stick, and Dora is 4 mon. So for instance, Ishii there has a Dora stuck in the hand, and Yajima does not have floating Dora 7 right now. That 7
Good
is just a
catch.
normal tile.
It looks like they had not updated the overlay from the
Yes.
previous hand that Yajima won.
So a little bit behind.
I put a couple of pictures in the Discord that maybe we can look at after this hand. And this game, I mean, not the hand. The
Ooh,
game.
okay, okay. That's gonna do it. Everyone seems like they're just kind of playing their standard go for Riichi
I think
game at the
Ishii is
moment.
gonna have to Ishii's gonna have to shift to a Tanyao, I think, in
Chase
inside
Valiant.
hand. Yeah, he's so far behind and he's only got one terminal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll come up right here after Yamawaki's. So he's only got that one bamboo and it's a Kanchan, I think. Oh, never mind. He'll have to fill in the worst space possible. But he will reach. And take the possibility, Ipatsu and Uradora to try and. I mean, Ipatsu killed right away.
Oh, wow. And super interesting decision from Yajima. Kills Epots and then drops the East. I might have thought that we would keep the East and push against the hand. I believe still Ishanten after. But just opts to fold after breaking that Ipatsu.
Get in your way. I can't win.
Yeah, right. Break the value, make sure you mitigate as much damage as possible, and then fold out. You're good with that. I mean, I guess Yajima also reads that if it goes to Ryukoku and nobody else is Tenpai, then with the sticks in the middle, Yajima can quite easily take it back, I believe, with just a two-han hand in all last.
He could still tempai pretty easily.
Ooh, Tenpai though.
Possibly call for other things and discard the
Tashiro.
other two easts even.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of time left in the hand, and that's what he looks like he's shifting toward.
2-5 Soken Busu Tenpai for Tashiro. I believe this Pintan. I'm not going to do it. We're going to shove all our door out and say, hey, it's a cheap round. Don't worry, guys. Could drop 6-pin here.
Or even.
Nope, Tadashi's 5. And ends up dealing
Wow.
in tough.
I think, yeah. I think, I don't know. Generally, when I see that, I want to go with the 4 or the 6 because it's within the blockers.
Yeah, I think it was not Tanya. I think I misread it, and that's why that decision was made. Potentially. Because otherwise, I can't see why you would throw the 5-pin over the 6-pin unless you really wanted to chase the Ipeko.
Definitely Tanyao. Unless, would we both misread it?
I thought it was
I'm
Tanya.
just gonna check my replay, my very
Ooh,
official.
Gen replay. Let's see.
It's definitely Tanyao.
Okay, then yeah, maybe just thought 5-pin would be just as safe.
I mean, it keeps Tashiro's hand more expensive because
Yeah, that too. Keeps the
it
Pinfu.
keeps the Pinfu
Keeps
shape.
the Ipeko Ishanten too.
Then
Or Ipeko shift, I should rather say.
yeah.
No, and Ishii's tanking. Oh
Okay. Can't.
boy. Kokushi or Honitsu. We'll play 6-pin, do a little bit of hedging. Trying for Tashiro. Nothing up at the moment, though. Oh, and we're Kokushi. Okay. check back in with Ishii-san in about 5 more turns, see how much progress we made on that. I think everyone else is going to be shaping up kind of standardly. It'll be interesting to see if Tashiro decides to do any calls to open up.
One away for Yamawaki.
Oh, that'd be huge. Riichi there could definitely scare the rest of the table. Would still definitely win in Ryukoku if the game ends as well. Now we have the Sanshoku think for Ishii. That's why we're seeing the tank. Can we get our hand to that Sanshoku position? And is that
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah, this is Yajima's hand. Ishii is going for
This
that
used to be
Kokushimuso
Yashima.
and 3
Yes.
away. Mm.
And we're going to see the call. Tashiro is going to play aggressive, lock in Tanyao shape, take that form on. Yamawaki gets a little improvement.
Yeah, a little help for her side weight. The 1-2 shape.
Ishanten. Sanshoku chance, Pinfu chance. Nothing bigger, Riichi chance. Yajima wants to threaten the first. Is going to throw the Dora out. And we are going to see the Chi from dealer. Tenpai on 6-pin now. Weight's not the best, but Tenpai is Tenpai. With every Ishanten on the board, though. I'm not going to do it.
Make sure you've hit that like button, thumbs up button. It is where I get all my self-worth. Ooh,
Smack it. Ooh, 3 so.
advance,
We're going to
advance
call.
for the call and tempo waiting for the 4-7 dot, but Tashiro will take. It will go ahead and feed, shift the wall to Tashiro's winning tile, the 6 dot.
I wonder if I miscounted. I was thinking Yajima would not take that for Sanshoku no Mi. Because that would have to be even on Sumo. I guess on direct you swap with Tashiro, but on Sumo it's even. It's not even. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. What a hand we have here. Tashiro has an absolute killer. Great shape. Haku Anko. Goodness. June
I hate
out
these
there.
shapes in Tashiro's hand.
Really? In Tashiro's?
Okay, this is, yeah, like the Kido white dragon is fine, but then
Ah, it's fine. He's filling a Kanchan. You can call it too. Your
I
dealer.
don't. I
You
hate
have
headless.
momentum.
I'm really prejudiced against headless.
Headless is fine. You can always draw into the head. Just pairing up
Not too good.
random thing. Play the Tonki game and end wait if you need to.
Living in Sleepy Hollow is like my worst nightmare.
Oh boy. Dora is going to get pushed by Yamawaki. No one takes. Hand can be presumed to be at least a little bit cheaper. Oh yeah, we're calling that though.
Sleepy Hollow, not a bad show though. They did a collaboration with Bones, which is a show I really like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the like animation studio. I was like, what? So,
Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about like Studio Bones, like did a collaboration with Sleepy
Oh, no,
Hollow,
no,
and
no,
I was like,
no.
huh?
The
I
show.
was
The
like,
show
that's right.
Bones.
Yeah.
The show Bones with. All right.
Okay.
Tashiro win
I'm
another hand
dabbing
and
on
get
the
to be dealer
door
one more time.
with the Dora. That's big too, because that should be no, not quite 40 fu. But still with the Honba. Now officially in the lead. Can guaranteed fold out for Yukoku, right?
Just barely. You have to
Yes.
be at least 4,000 ahead of all the other players. And if all
4,100.
three players, yeah, if all three players were Tenpai and Tashiro was not, he would get first place by 100 points against Yamawaki.
Same if Yamawaki was the only one Tenpai at Ryukoku. And coming up. What are we doing? What are we doing? Ooh, Ishii's got like a weird Chitoi situation. Might be able to throw some people for a loop later down the line. Oh, Dora 2 is Tashiro. Tashiro might go, you know what? Maybe I'll take one more. Maybe we'll do a safety hand.
So you can see the numbers next to the yellow on the overlay. The yellow numbers are their total table points. And then in the white, you can see the total points, the tiebreakers that you were mentioning before. This is an opportunity for Tashiro to gain some points and maybe get his team out of negative for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, that might be good. I think they're probably a little bit too far behind to go for like that third, fourth range tiebreaker, but definitely everyone supposedly matters. I mean, you're probably more experienced with formats like this. Is there a big reason why like the playoff bracket B is better than being in the playoff bracket C and so forth? Would you consider those like meaningful other than the obviously the one where you're cut completely or the ones where you get to skip playoff round one?
Yeah, from the format that the way that I understand it is it's not going to be a big difference
Mm-hmm.
because it's the rounds. So yeah, if you're in round one, you're in round one.
Yeah.
If you're in, so it's better to be round two, but
From on out, we're thinking. Ishii gonna opt for a normal Riichi route as we do see another call from Yajima. Which I think trending towards just Honitsu with the Chun call. I don't think it's Shanta.
the reminder that the winning team gets 3 spots in next year's Mahjong Saikyosen, and Saikyosen is pretty much the biggest pro tournament of the year.
Mm.
Just double checking on the website, looks like 4th through 15th place are basically going to be even going into the playoffs. Oh, okay. So table A, if you're in 12th through 15th place, only one team from table A is going to advance to the second round. And from table
Ah,
B, 2 teams are going to advance.
so it is a pretty big deal. Little bit
Right.
easier of a condition. I see. I see.
From table C, 3 teams will advance
Okay,
to
yes.
round
So
2.
big
So,
deal for every
yeah.
jump up. So yeah,
So
tiebreaker
I
is
had
super
originally thought maybe
relevant.
it was 2 teams from each table, but no, they've separated it out so that it's 3, 2, and 1. So yeah, very advantageous. Big pay jump.
So catching up on the table, 7 is worth 2 Dora right now. We have Dama 10 for Tashiro, who has Tanyao Dora 4, 2 so. It's getting crazy, Jen. It's getting wild. We're playing
That's what
fast, perhaps
happens when
loose.
I talk about something else. It only happens when I talk about something else.
We're just on the 5. We also have some weight switches we could potentially do. Maybe another reason to Dama for dealer Tashiro. This is not quite Tenpai. Could drop 5 pin potentially and do a little bit of nonsense. Nope, we'll play 7 Taki. We will try for that.
The playoff rounds actually get even more complicated. So come
Oh
November,
boy.
we're gonna have to make some screens to explain these.
Some infographics.
I think I'm gonna need them just to understand it.
Just simply beam into viewers' brains how the format works so they have an intricate knowledge. I hope there's another 5, so this could be huge if Yamawaki deals us in. There's a flip, a complete flip of the table, and Yamawaki pushes it. The hesitation in Tashiro cleans up 12-6, and all of a sudden the table is on its head. Nobody even close. Tashiro gonna take home a big win. Yamawaki now in 4th. My goodness.
It's a massive drop when she was vying for first place the entire game, and then just one discard in the last hand.
Yeah, that just happened to be what broke the camel's back. And even like so much hesitation on that. And thinking, do I really want to push this tile so close to Dora? Is it worth it? And she decides, yes, I'll try it, and then happens to just deal into Dora pair, which when everyone is 2 Dora, that's 4 Dora. So happens to be an absolute monster Mangan.
I think this will be more than enough to move Team Orfeu out of the negatives.
Oh yeah, easy. I
The
believe with
scores, yeah, the white scores
Oka
are not
too.
updating. I'm there's no Oka.
Is there no
So
Oka for
everything
placement?
starts with 30,000. When you start with
Oh
30,000,
yeah,
there's no
there's
Oka.
yeah,
So
you're
generally
right.
it's gonna be 25,000 start. They're actually not even using Uma because of the table points. So that the
Oh.
Uma is represented in the table
So
points
it's just
instead of
raw
in
point total score. Okay. So yeah, then
right,
it would be about +5, just about, right?
right. Yeah, the scores a lot of times we'll be watching the team scores will be updated in real time based on how many points everybody has. They're not doing that for this competition.
Coming out this round, looking a little bit slower, a little less zany than last round. Although Yajima looking at potentially Chitoi routes, which may throw that for a loop. Oh, and Ishii's thinking about a Honitsu too. Says, you know what? Let me go ahead and try and get second here and pass up the other people at my table. Tashiro, you can take the first points. I will do just fine with +2.
Okay, all
Oh,
of the honors in Ishii-san, they just like they deceptively
deceptively, yeah.
look deceptively. I totally remember English. Um, deceptively looks so good,
hmm
but they're actually not that great. It's just 2 pairs that he has completed.
Yeah, definitely not as strong as you would hope immediately. South paired up. Up the Tumon. Ishii makes a Shanten on the Honitsu.
Realize that with this commentary starting last year, this is the most English I've used on a regular basis in 20 years.
That sounds about right. Well, to be fair, in Japanese, you use a decent amount of English terms, right? You
Not
know,
that much in Mahjong, actually.
well, not in Mahjong, but in like everyday language, you at least get a couple you throw around here and there, right?
There's a lot of wasei-eigo, which is fake English that,
Yeah.
but No, generally I steer away from the katakana terms.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's a go-to for most people. If you don't know the Japanese term, you just kind of change the English pronunciation. Alright, and another
Oh,
win for Tashiro. Oh no, for Ishii. Sorry, Ishii found this opportunity with Yamawaki dropping into last place. He didn't need to get such a massive hand. He realized, and actually Yajima had dropped down below 30k too, and that brings Ishii up to second place.
yeah. Ishii swaps
When
even passes otherwise.
it looked almost impossible before that he would get anything except fourth place when he had no more dealer turns left. But
Mm-hmm. Yep, second for Ishii. Huge win there for sure. Really putting in work. And Yamawaki, who was just threatening, who was just really threatening first place the whole match, just happens to be thrown down and ends up taking the fourth.
Wait, but she's 4 seasons, right? Okay, so this is where the mistake was, I think.
Okay.
Because she should be 0. Notice there's only 3 zeros on the screen.
Oh, yes.
So that's going to be corrected on the... Since I don't watch the matches, I just have to go off of the screens that are on the Japanese feed. So I can't really know where the mistakes were. And plus, if it wasn't a featured table, then there's no way for us to know, really.
Then, yeah, who knows what happened, so...
So you can see here, 4 seasons is actually only at 43 points. It does not get that extra 2. So that will be corrected in the final, after the final game. But I had a couple of pictures. Can you bring them up?
Yes. Bear with it one moment while I get those working. Hold on.
All right, so we had a couple of quick games today. This is our last stream of this month for the WRC channel.
Well,
Next
there's
week
only a couple more days, to be fair.
Okay. The next stream on the WRC channel will be the Sankei Shimbun Cup, which is taking place on July 12th. No. 10th. Sorry. It was 12th in June. It's the 10th in July. So we're covering it on the 10th and 11th. And then we're going to have a little bit of a break after the WRC, which is happening next week. And we'll be covering it from the JPML English channel. It's going to be Garth, Kyle, or Curly, and myself will be the main commentators rotating through. Ray Kawakami will join us sometimes. We'll have some players join us. Hopefully, Nathaniel won't be able to join us because he'll be at the final table. But...
Yep, he'll be killing it. Doing good
but we will
work.
have an extra seat to invite in some player commentators from time to time. You can go ahead and introduce Korak while you're getting the photo ready. Welcome!
Yes, welcome. Woo! Korak!
Way to show up.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, early, on time, and not and not late like Jen.
Yeah, well, I have a trip to New York City at like 5 in the morning tomorrow. So.
Oh, you're doing the WRL?
The M, I think?
Yes, I'm looking at the schedule like, boy, I should have just like flown to Tulsa. They're like half the people.
Right.
Is it a big difference cost-wise?
With New York,
yes.
maybe not.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is staying in New York is so much more expensive. In terms of getting there, it's a lot cheaper, but we're talking like, I guess, maybe $600 as opposed to $400.
Yeah, so that's... I guess, yeah, so that's like definitely cheaper out. But for one day, I think that is the nice part about some WRL stuff. Or wait, no, is this one 2 days?
No, this is the 2-day. The minor's
yeah.
the 1 day. I didn't go out to the minor one. I was like, no, that's just not worth it. Because it's like, even like trip-wise, it's 4.5 hours each way to New York City.
And go up one day and then what is it? And then
And come back.
Come
yeah,
back,
that's 8-9
Long
hours
day.
of traveling. That's and 400. That's rough. Anyway,
I was able to
Right.
find pictures.
So this is a Yunomi teacup. Yunomi, like the teacups that you find at sushi restaurants. So I designed these and had them at the. I always wanted to make a Yakuman Yunomi, and then put the English names of all of the Yakuman. We made these for New York Comic Con last year, and they sold out. So we made a batch for WRC as well. So if you're interested in one,
Oh, and you
to
have
DM me because they might go.
you have the weird ones too. You have 7 stars.
Yeah.
What is 1,000,000 stones? I don't even know that one.
I'd have to check it again.
Wait, does this
Come on,
mean
quickly.
does this mean you have the War of 1812 on there too? Do we have all the locals, the weird American ones get in there?
It's an American one, right?
Yeah, it is, but I
Okay.
mean, it's funny, like, objectively. You can play it in Riichi, there's no problem with it, it's just weird.
It is weird. So it's in Manzu Chinitsu, so full flush in the Manzu. And the total has to be more than 100?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember those now. Yeah.
So you have to like have all of the upper Manzu
Mhm.
and yeah.
Some of that zany stuff.
Can you calculate those while you're Wait, how does it get over? Okay, I'm gonna have to go like think about
you
this one. for a little
probably
while.
have to have some cons in there. It might even be a Surenko.
No, because
Yeah,
if you add like, oh yeah, you have to do cons. I remember looking this up because DC has a weird rule set we sometimes play where we have every local Yaku and Yakuman, and I was like, what the heck is this? How does it work? And there's some like gimmick to it, I think.
average
Like you're able to
of
multiply
each.
something.
It's one we'll go with. There's a reason it's not a standard Yakuman.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I can't count to. I can only count to 4, by the way. So
Type.
anyway. But if you like these Yakuman, I put my little logo on it because before it was just plain. But yeah, if you're interested in one, you can DM me and I can possibly save one for you and maybe send it back with somebody who's from your country. Just a little cute like mahjong thing, unique mahjong thing. Anyway, that's my pitch. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All
no.
right.
Did I just say that? I didn't
Well,
say that.
yeah, not
okay.
us so much. But
Okay,
the
you'll see some of
broadcasters.
us. Yeah, don't worry, Kyle and Nate will be there.
You guys will see. You guys will see me.
Oh,
on
and
Tuesday.
Lucas as well, right?
I don't
Is
think
Lucas
so.
part of our 16? No, that's right. Lucas round 2.
Should have
That's
been.
okay.
Should have been. Could have been. All right. Thank you, everybody.
That's
Good luck.
Anyway, let's get to the players here.
Yep, getting on game 3 players, final game. Getting those locked and loaded. We got Yuri Ichinose, JPML player, representing Team Alban. Stream's favorite, as it's being called. Toru Yajima, who's going to be representing DD Studio. Player we have seen quite literally like all the time, you know. Has been here all the day, playing some great mahjong, so definitely cannot hate it. Then we have Kazunori Takizawa, JPML player, who I believe that's Jankatsu Master, if I'm unmistaken. Maybe I am. Let me think. No, excuse me. Tomozoe Shoten is going to be Kazunori Takizawa's team. If I have the right person, very fun player to watch. Very flashy. And then finally, in our last seat, sending us home, is going to be Tomohiro Honda, JPML player representing Team Aokei. This seems like it's going to be a powerhouse game, if I'm being quite honest. If we go back to these, to this screen, it looks like Tomozoe, Shoten, and Aokei are going to be real close. Alban trying to fight away from fourth, and DD Studio at the top trying to keep their lead to advance all the way to the finals, not have to deal with any playoff rounds or anything like that.
Yeah, it's really nice. You win, you just jump straight to the finals, and the only team that's cut immediately is dead last. So you just want to stay out of that, of course.
Yeah.
I need to jump in for one thing.
Yep.
So Takizawa is on the Mahjong Fight Club team in M League, and Honda is on the Team Raiden on M League.
Oh, so double
two M Leaguers
okay.
on the table. I forgot to mention that before I left. All right.
Bit of a fan gamer. Thank you for the update, Jen. Thanks for the hidden lore knowledge. I am not the best well kept with M League, but I know a lot of people are and love watching the M League players play. So I'm sure this is going to be an exciting match. What do you say, Korak? Time to get into it?
Let's go.
Yes. Right game loaded up too. Putting that on almost no technical difficulties day, I'll say for now, and then of course the power will flicker out because I said something.
That's like the instant way to change everything.
Oh, sorry. Cutting all wireless service for no reason. Don't worry, we'll kick it back in 3 hours. Okay.
That seems to be how it works. Well, we have a 4-pin Dora initially here, and ooh, I like what I'm seeing so far. And then I see the other half of the hand, and it's not nearly as good.
I mean,
don't you hate those? You get one look at it, it's all the same
shapes. You go, oh,
everything looks great, and then you look at the other half, just a bunch of random garbage honors.
I mean, that's how odds work, right? Both halves being good
is
pretty
but
rare.
You're always so tense. Like, it's so great. It has to be. Just once, you give me what I want. No. Just no. It doesn't have an HP here. Can call. This looks like a kind of a very slow Pinfu, maybe a 2-3 for Sanjiku eventually. 2-mon Onko, but also part of a 2-2-2-3. And actually cuts the 3. That's interesting. I definitely would have cut one of the honors because I definitely feel Tanyao's a reasonable route in that hand. This looks like a Honitsu play, cutting the 3-so here. It's a great floater, but Honitsu in the door suit, you don't have to think too hard when you go for it because it'll just naturally build its own value.
I mean, I think Yajima cutting that 3-mon too. Yajima, at least from last game, was definitely I either have crazy value or I'm going to play close to the chest and just really be patient and take my time, especially being at the top of the leaderboard, having some points to play with.
That 9-pin is a very shocking discard. That was
you haven't seen Takizawa. You haven't seen Takizawa then.
I mean, I'm known for having Tanya goggles, but I certainly didn't see that one.
Takizawa is, I can only describe them as a force on the Mahjong table. Inspiration is the only thing I see when I watch Takizawa play, because some of the plays that we have seen that man make have just been sensational. Definitely, I've noticed not a big love for Chitoi, likes playing your normal shape, and just also really sort of creative, flashy routes.
I do like the hatred for Chitoi. That fits, but everything else, sometimes that's just the way the hand feels like it's going to go. But you do have early situations where you can shift this around. Ooh, 2-pin here, yeah, it's going to be a shift. There's potential for Furiton on the 1, but ideally you'd want the 4 because it's Dora anyway. 3-so isn't going to do anything. I'm going to get thrown back. Of course, the plan is just call the East, and you're kind of wondering, wait, where is it? Is it paralocked? Is somebody just hoarding? And the answer is that's what happened. Is there's just one in the hand, the other's in the wall.
It's row 1. It's still early.
Yeah, but you're seeing things like 3-so, 5-pin, 4-mon come out. You have to wonder, someone has to have it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you'd suspect the Honitsu, but you're the one with the Honitsu.
I mean, again,
it doesn't do anything.
I think a lot of the Japanese meta also like to keep safe tiles with weaker hands because they trust that the other players at the table are just going to beat them to Tenpai if their hand's not great.
And there is that last East also being held.
For now. I mean, hey, Ichinose is the dealer, has floating east, and it seems like it's any second it's going to come out. The question is it going to be a lethal
8-pin. That's just
push?
Pinfu Shoten.
Keep the
We're
east. We're
going
going
to
to
see this
call.
G down, also for Shoten. Still looking for that east, but the other part of his hand will need the 3-pin door indicator. That's always a frustrating shape.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
See, cut the 1 earlier. Just draw the 4. That was the plan.
Easy peasy. We're going to play Dora if we're going to play it at all.
Hatsu isn't it, so that gets thrown back. The 6 connects with the 5s here. The east is the most efficient cut.
Ooh.
No, just going to cut the 5 here.
Maybe
Plan for the Riichi.
I mean, maybe on a Tonki too, like if they want to call Haku. Like here.
Well,
nope, not going to take the Haku.
When that play is made, you're probably not going to call the Haku because you're locking it in and breaking your pair up. If you're just going to cut the east there, the Haku comes out, you call your Tempai. But speaking of Tempai, this is Riichi Dora 1 waiting for 7-mon.
It's going to be Yajima.
That is
again,
Tempai, will be
another
chased.
one.
Riichi Pinfu Dora 2, and there is our Honitsu Tone.
Tempai on 3-pin. Okay. And now dealer looks to be a little bit more out because board is scary. Everybody else is making moves.
Well, you see 2 Riichis and a 3-call hand. You figure you are way, way behind.
I mean, that's the thing. Ichinose is still Ishanten too and dealer. Oh, 4-pin comes out.
Oh, there's Dora. That never feels good, but it is
Passes.
safe.
Especially against Dora Honitsu. You're pretty good with that.
Now, speaking of Dora.
Listen, I know 1 pin's hell weight, but I feel like you have to throw 1 instead of 4. Nope, save 4-pin. Okay.
I think the plan here is just if I get to Tempai, great, and if I don't, forget it.
Maybe, yeah.
Not even necessarily trying to win, just saying I want the payments, it's getting late, and if I'm not Tempai, it's going to really hurt. Like right here.
Tempai, are we going to throw 2 5-mon? We could also throw Haku, but nope.
Will Dama.
Not going to take the stick.
No Yaku on the 3-pin. And the 3-mon comes out. Riichi Pinfu Dora 1. No Ura. But a nice little win there. We'll get 3,900 and the stick.
Yep, shuts down that scary hand from Honda as well. Mongon were confirmed Mongon, right? I believe 4-pin was cheed, or shape with 4-pin was cheed. So shuts down that Mongon, gets the stick, beats out Takizawa's Riichi. Huge hands. Or excuse me, Takizawa beats out Yajima's Riichi.
Yeah, Yajima will be dealer here with a middling hand. It's not bad.
Yeah.
2 pins Dora. It's kind of a useless tile by itself when you have the 5, but hey, if it's Dora, you always hold on to it. East pair here. The rest of shapes are okay. I feel like a whole bunch of fairly cheap hands. None of them are particularly good. None of them are particularly bad.
Yeah, I mean,
but all of them feel cheap.
I want to say Takizawa is just a little bit slow. That 4-pin will help to play around Dora 2-pin. Although now with pairs locked up from Honda, those 3-pins in high demand and short supply, going to make it a little bit harder.
Were you talking to Jen last game, and she hates being headless? Oh, I love being headless. There's so much acceptance.
So much acceptance. You get to play the Tonki game in Tempai, which is one of my favorite things to do. That's one of my most comfortable positions, I think, when I'm just waiting on 1 tile and able to switch it around and try to catch people off guard.
Or the classic switch 5 turns in a row, whatever, it just stares at you.
Yeah, right.
1-mon moves this towards a possible Honitsu. 9-mon isn't going to do anything, so it gets thrown back. Tuso pairs up.
Interesting.
Kind of a wide option. 1-mon feels like the normal cup. You can go 8-pin.
I was going to say 8-pin I don't hate.
You can even go, yeah.
You can still keep the Tanyao shapes. You can still take 5-pin, 3-pin, and play a very normal hand with that. And you get the 4 pairs in case you want to run a Toy, in case you want to run a Chi-Toy later on, without having to hard commit to it.
That was Ishanten for a regular hand, and 2 Shanten from a Honitsu.
And
that's looking Chi-Toy.
Yeah, especially
with the floating Dora. I really like the Chi-Toy shift here, even though I just don't like the Yaku generally. Because if you're waiting on Dora on a Chi-Toy, that means it's either worth Hanemon or nothing.
Yeah. You might be surprised. They might dama it out. Ooh, Anko 5. Okay, that's spicy. I kind of like one mon here.
I like
think.
6-pin.
Oh, really? 6-pin.
If you draw the 3, you can consider going normal. You also have the Suanko route, of course, for value. So the 6 feels like it makes a lot of sense. When you don't have Aka, just the 5 is a terrible weight.
That's fair. Yeah. Open now the 1 middle.
And just kind of lock this in. There is also a very difficult to get to Doko route, but I'm not expecting that one to happen.
Yeah, don't worry. Suanko's just around the corner after that too. So
why stop at 6? Doko? Okay, that looks like Ishanten for closed Honetsu.
I think even Honitsu Chitoi Ishanten on the Haku as well. Given the right draw. Unless I miscounted. A lot of lower Manzu there. Could be an absolute monster of a hand, I believe, from Ichinose.
Well, we can see it, and guess that is. That's actually Ishanten for Rion Beiko.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of pairs, this is everybody gets pairs.
Pair heavy table.
7-pin isn't going to do much. It gets it thrown back.
Takizawa did open up for the toy.
Oh, that's just really nice draw. I like the 3 here. You're just trying to get the door. Well, I mean, it's just Chitoi. I'm surprised the 1 isn't taken. I guess there'd just be a bunch out. Oh, yeah, they're really dead. Yeah. It's actually dead. They're all dead.
Super dead. So we'll try the 4. We'll say Dama and catch somebody off guard. I mean, Honitsu Chitoi. It's, you know, still Mangan, which feels a little bad, but Mangan's Mangan.
It is. That's the thing. A hand isn't worth. Oh, well, there's your Dorica coming out. A hand isn't worth anything unless you win with it.
That's a very, very fair point. Something I think these players really think about. I've seen a lot of them switch off weights that just look like they're not going to win in any circumstance, especially with how strong some of these players are.
Because the 6-pin to kind of sucky gear here, but it does lose a lot of exceptions. Now, this South Switch, okay, how many are out? I see 2 out.
3 out.
3 out.
Super dead.
Yeah, you can't. That's one where we're like, can we want to? No, it's dead. Still Ishanten there. 8. Well, that's just Tempai. I imagine you Riichi. Yeah. Yep. This is Riichi or Riichi Door. We're going to see the tone called here. So Takizawa wants to shut this down.
Oh, and Tuso comes immediately, gets the Toy tone. And I believe that's enough value to get to 52.
Yes, it should be. There it is. And Takizawa says, okay, well, I'll just keep winning hands, thanks. And now I'll be on dealer turn and hope to win more.
That's why I love Takizawa. Toy from that position, and you're taking it and the win off of it. It's almost like he can read the wall's mind. And I see so many players in this league take the much safer, like much more option Chitoi. It's like more safe, technically a higher value ceiling. You can play defensive out of it. You can chase value. And Tomozoe, or in Takizawa from Tomozoe, just says, you know what? I'm going to go Toy. I'm going to be aggressive. We're taking it. And also, oh my God, Ichinose, was that?
Is that a Kogushi?
Was that 10 unique in a pair? Yeah. It was either 9 or 10.
For an early hand, yes. 7. Well, then that connects nicely of the Ryoncon 135 pin as well.
Oh, ugly hand for Honda. I'd imagine debating.
I mean, there's a 7, 8, 9 Sanjiku in there somewhere, but you have to dig for it.
6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 in a pair.
You have a pair, right?
So standard Chitoi play, the 5%er.
And I see a couple Haku come out.
But Haku, one of the ones in the hand, so not in dire straits just yet.
Yeah, it's also the door indicator, so you better have it now.
Yeah. Ooh, South pair. That's interesting.
How much do you want to hedge 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku? And the answer is not at all.
0. None of the time. Yajima is not biting.
Chun pair up. Of course, remember the Dora is Hatsu.
Oh, and we're going Honitsu. We're committing.
I'm going to see the call, try and shut this down, maybe back into a Toy eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Forfeits perfectly into this hand. This is now
Takizawa Ishanten.
floater. It's technically Kutsuki, but it's a 5-so Tone, or your 2 floaters. You don't really think Kutsuki, you see Tone, but...
I'm not
9
going to do it.
will be
Ooh,
held
with
for
the
now.
6
Again,
pin.
trying to shift to Toy.
I mean, the 6
May not
pin
get there,
feels
though.
like a committal to it, too.
9-pin pair up wants the Honitsu, and the Kokushi is kind of stuck, because that's what Kokushi does.
Oh, tone pairing. This
up.
has
That's a
to be a
senpai. Yeah,
Riichi.
Shumpon.
Suji on the 2-so, too. I mean, the
And
2-so
it's
Suji looks
double
worse,
East.
but yeah.
Yes, that's either Riichi Nomi or Riichi double Tone. That is a difference.
Oh, and Hatsu
But the
pair
tones are
got
both being used, so unless it comes out, and it is going to be live, then you can only win on the 2. Whereas the 2 is Suji to the Riichi, although it is not normally why you're afraid of the 2 is the Shampoo potential, but it would deal in here.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Could be back in this
once,
towards a Cheetor, or even a Toy. Maybe Dream Honroto.
I mean, it's only Honoroto tiles now with those 2 mons out, so.
I mean, I'm going for it now. Yeah,
I
8
think
cells is. We're just
yeah.
going.
I think I'm Pawn Cat. I'm seeing a button.
Yeah.
I'm smashing it. I'm calling Toy all day. Feels too good not to, right? Ooh, 9-so pair.
At some point, you have to accept the wall is giving you a signal, and you just have to accept it.
9-pin looks not great too, and finds the 7-so. Likes that option.
Well, you didn't like the 9. What about the 6? We'll hold on to it for now.
Yeah, says that one's a little bit harder. We'll play the Haku. We're not getting Kokushi anyway. Don't need it anymore. Dead tile in my hand.
8-pin. All the middle and upper pins are terrible. This may just be 9-so or even 7-so. I like 9-so here.
I mean, you could also make Chun argument.
Nope, just going to throw the
7.
100% safe tile with the 7.
Fair. There's a 1-pin found for Ichinose.
Yeah, not going to be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
1-so pair up. So you could call this, but that gets into big trouble because that East does deal in.
Yeah. I mean, it's none out on the board too, and 2 players are doing kind of weird stuff. So I'd imagine that East is going to struggle to come out.
Well, if you're reading the Kokushi correctly, then the East doesn't deal into dealer that much because you have to assume one is in that hand.
Fair.
But at the same time, you're kind of wondering, wait, where are the other 2? Because I'm not the only one with this information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's your backfire on the 6-7 cut.
Yeah, that's fine though. We're opting for safety. Honda not too upset by that. Now we have the 7-pin, and we can.
Well, Honroto's out, but may just move towards the Chitoi.
Yeah, has to be this late into the game.
It has all those middle tiles in the pond, so it's either a Manzu weight or it's some random Shampon, is how I'd be reading this.
I mean, that would be accurate. 6, 7, even the 8 looks bad. Yep, and
Just folding says, okay, I hit my threshold. We're done here.
I mean, too far back in Shoten still too. It's just so hard. So difficult.
Hatsu is Dora, so you can't afford that one to come out. 1 mon continues to be cut. Well, there's Tempai. Have to push the 5. It's not a great tile.
It's Nakasuji?
Let's see. The 2's passed. Is the 8 passed? I know the 7s have passed. I don't remember the 8 going out.
The 8 hasn't quite.
Yeah, not Nakasuji. So it says, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, not worth it for the 1500.
If it's not dealer, I think you're supposed to just shove it anyway. But against the dealer Riichi, there are so many things that can go bad.
No Dora scene too, and like just a million problems.
Okay, sees enough sixes that says, okay, now it's fine.
Yeah, it says we'll swing it. Dealer has a chance to deal in for Hote too.
Or on the reverse, get the Haite. Which the thing
I
is, for
mean,
the rest
at
of the
that
table, if dealer
point,
sumo Haite, you don't care that much because Takizawa is so far in front that if
yeah.
he just opens it up wider, it's not that big a difference. You're probably playing for second anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we take a look at his hand. Looks like a very standard Pinfu type hand. Has a few honors to get rid of, but definitely Pinfu. 7 would be a really nice draw here. South is the door. There's one of those. Well, this is a Chun pair and a South from the South player. Of course, that ever gets paired up. I think it's very expensive very quickly. Possible Chant or Junshan there. And that's not the time when you want to draw the door. You see the rest of this hand.
Yeah, a little ugly, but I mean, at least you know where one door
You have to
is.
sit on it for a little bit anyway.
Oh, yeah.
One model connects with the twos, but doesn't really do that much. 9 so. Kind of hedging whether you go for the Itsu here or you just cut the inefficient one so. And we'll cut the
Just
one
gonna
so.
hunt that way.
1 mon pair up. I feel that door should come out fairly soon. Not quite yet, but fairly soon. Six connects with the 7 here. You do have the west pair, but this isn't the west player. Yeah, this is the north player, so it's not of any use. And the question is, how many safe tiles do you want? And the answer is all of them. Oh, that's a bit of a backfire with the 2, so having cut the 1 the previous turn. There was a value route to Itsu, even potentially callable with a South Tonki weight.
But no, Takizawa's just gonna play it close, try to threaten a reach, make sure nobody else is able to use that Dora.
9 mon pair up. Could go Chitoi, could go Ipeko Junshan still.
Mm-hmm. He's pair up. That might help Yajima a little bit, but
There's the tune going to be called. Says, okay, we just need to get out of here. Cuts the Dora now. Says, I want my 1 Han. Get me out of here.
hey, there's 1300 in the middle too. Don't forget that. Little bit of a bonus in the middle, right? A little bit of a tip.
Always the sweetener. You'll like it. You'll take the Tempai here. 2-5. Honda also has the ability to shut this down and move to the dealer turn.
Yeah, 1 or 2 good hands from Honda and limiting Takizawa here. Honda can still catch up. Ooh, 9
Well, that's
Pinaka.
extra food, but I don't think you ever switch to a Tonki here. The 2-5
Nah.
just such a good weight. Especially as you already cut the Dora from the hand, the Anko is not that useful. If we're trying the opposite order, I definitely like the South Tonki weight, even potentially as a Hell weight, just because you have extra foo on top of it.
Yeah.
Seven so pair up could go Chitoi, could even potentially go Ryan Peiko Junshan, but that's require a couple shifts. Cuts the 7, planning to go for the 2 in a bit.
Yeah, 2-5 looks to be coming out any second now from dealer Takizawa. Cheap deal-in, but a deal-in nonetheless.
Now, Hatsu is useless. The question is, you want to keep it as a safe tell on cut 8-9 here. And the answer is, nope, just going to throw it now. The thing is, the upper Pinzu looks safe to almost everyone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gaining that much by holding it back, but there's the deal-in we were waiting for. Will just be the 1 Han. You see the 1300 handed over.
Yep,
And of course, leftover stick. And Hombo will still be in 4th, but close the gap. And now 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are all within 2600. And Honda will be dealer here with a 6 Mondora. Hand looks very Pinzu heavy. Maybe Honitsu. Yeah, a 2 so 9 so is not a great addition. I think you just play regularly and see what happens, because that's still Pinfu, maybe Pinfu Tanya in there as well. Look at Pinfu, even a Chanta in there. This is a pretty standard hand. Likely Pinfu, possible 5/6 Sanshogu. And that needs maybe an Ipeko in Sozu, but not a particularly good hand.
Mm-hmm.
5 mon
Pair
pair up
5.
is like that's
Interesting.
the way that was thrown down is I thought this is a Dora. Oh, yo, it's just a 5.
Oh, never mind. Just indicator. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's you're dreaming so much, and then you realize you have 5 pair, 5 pair, and 5 pair. Could even potentially call this for Doko. If it's not taken, you're kind of stuck on the Tanyao.
Mm-hmm.
I would have called that.
On the East, I think it's just these players are so good. Like,
Well, I don't
it's not
expect
quite
to win
enough
it, but I
shit.
also have the advantage. If you tell the table that the 5 mon is now dead, oh, well, if you just draw Dora next turn, it makes me
Well,
look silly.
yeah, right. You can always draw it. You forget that people
At the
actually
same
draw
time,
things.
if you call the 5 and draw the 6, you just have a Tonki. That's actually a really good way because again, you know the 5s are dead if you've pulled the Dora indicator.
Yeah, but no one
That
else is going to
effectively
be
the
playing
comment.
that, right?
No, but that's the other thing. Is you just ruin everyone's hand. And are there any other things that are as much fun as just ruining everyone else's hand, especially as dealer?
Probably winning the hand as dealer. If I had to really give a true guess, I would rate that slightly
yeah, those
above
don't
it.
actually happen.
Listen, I'm in your boat. They don't happen to me. These players, I'm pretty sure they happen. I'm pretty sure they hit.
All right, well, these are a couple of
is this
floaters.
shape?
Really good floaters everywhere, trying to hedge the Itsu here. With that
Those are
6 so you
nice.
can use that as the pair, and then have the other shape fill in with a 2-8-9. Perfect draw there with the 4 pin.
Ishanten doesn't want to get rid of the 5 Sakagiri. Just says, you know what? I want to keep second Dora draw. Very acceptable. Very well fitting in the hand.
2-pin pair up means any routes for Junchan or Chanta are out now. We'll keep the west as the safe tile.
Finds it, likes the west, says, we'll do that one.
And just gives up on the Itsu, moves it towards a Tanya. The 8 connects here nicely. This is
Ishanten.
It almost has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
It was a little ugly.
That's also Ishanten.
Ishanten. And this is going to be who hits Tenpai first, besides Takizawa. Lagging a little bit behind the rest of the table. Safer one so found.
9's a blank. 4 fits in perfectly, though. Can get rid of one of these honors.
I'll help Takizawa.
4 pair up. Well, there's your pair. This is still Ishanten.
Quite gonna be.
I guess it's now Ishanten. Actually,
it was Ishanten before because you draw 3-pin or 3-so and drop 8-pin.
All right, because you have the 9.
Yeah,
you
have
lose
the 9s.
all the value.
Well,
all of it.
Yeah. I mean, what is the better alternative? Waiting on 7-pin for Ipeko, for Riichi Ipeko with 2600?
Absolutely.
No. Especially now that... Was that dealer
now?
4-7-pin? No, not dealer. That was Ichinose for 4-7-pin. No, it was not Ichinose. Who was that? Yajima? Yes, Yajima opens up for 4-7-pin.
Yeah, Yajima has it. With 1 Dora.
And
there's your 7-pin.
Pew!
You know what? We don't need a big hand. We just need to win.
Yep, let's keep Homba down a little bit. Let's get the game moving. Try again in the south round.
Yeah, figure your real chances on your dealer turn here. The hand is either going to be the 2000 win or stuck in Ishanten hell. Just give me my points. Let me get out of here. East 4 here. We see a double East pair up and a very solid starting hand.
Pair of 1s. That could be a monster potentially. You get the right 2 draws and you got Sanako before Tentai or before a Tenpai.
Whole bunch of pairs in this hand. The 6 connects nicely with the 2, 4, 4, 5, 8.
Oh yeah.
There is our double East call. We knew it was going to happen.
No, single East.
The 9 is cut. Just locks in.
Single East. We're in South, remember?
Oh, we are in South, right? Sorry, the
Yes,
graphic
so a
had
little
not
bit less.
updated on me.
But still not bad. I think Ichinose also has a Dora as well. And just with shape like that, why not? Call quick, call aggressive. Doesn't have the Dora, but can very easily play it, connect to that
Yeah, it has
Forso,
that
win on the
floating
3.
Forso.
They're going to see
Hoping to get a Dora, but
Yajima
doesn't
go some
have
more
it yet.
pairs.
Also Ishan 10. 5
So,
fits in
ooh.
nicely here. Could go Honitsu it. We'll have to cut the 5-5. I mean, that's Tempai. Won't take it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a Penchon 9 Mon for Riichi +1. Oh, there's our con.
Oh, immediate. We want the draws. Ichinose is fighting. I mean, her team's in last, and this is a big hand, so I understand
make
it.
something happen.
Oh, and Shun becomes the new Dora.
Okay, it's wow.
Okay, Yajima all of a sudden has a killer locked loaded Honitsu in the double Dora suit. My goodness.
With a Dora pair.
6, a step.
Ishanten needs a 5-so and a
Shoten?
5-8-so.
Get down the wire. 7 Mon kind of helps a little bit for Honda, but not the worst. Oh,
Yeah, it's not ideal because you want to use the Sun Minchon, but if you need a pair, Ed is a pair. Oh, they need a perfect draw. Fills the Kanchon there. I see the one has been called down. Possible
still
toy,
Ishanten.
and there is our call on the 4.
5-8 needed there, or Wonso or Chun all get Tenpai for Yajima with an absolute monster. That would be potentially Honitsu Dora 4 if the Chun is called.
No, there is an 8, an 8, or an 8. Which 8 do you want?
Right? And so I'm not going to do it.
Well, okay, that's
Okay.
Tempai. We'll just Dama here. Is this Chanya Dora 1 on the 7?
Shanten there as well. Ooh.
Well, that is Tempai. We'll wait 6-9
and
on
the
Dora. It gets
reveal.
cut. That's Tempai. And there's the
5-8,
9.
Oh.
Says get you may have that monster and it's worth absolutely nothing because I just won the hand.
Oh, good food too. Able to get to just 40 it looks like. Or no, 50 foo.
No, that'd be 50 at 24 at 2,400.
Oh. Wait, I thought it was 16 for the open con plus 4 for the
Plus there is a
the
2
Onko.
for an
That's
Onko.
right. That's right. I forgot about the Onko. So
Or 4 for the Onko. Yeah.
Okay, so not bad. Also shuts down the Hanemon to your right, which is like really important.
Dual value. It's like, hey, I'd love to get the Hanemon or some sort of extra value here. Maybe minimum the toy, but I'll just take get me out of here. I need the win and I don't want to pay a recovery.
Mm-hmm.
The extra dealer payment. And we look at these hands. Very heavy Manzu hand here. Possible Honitsu. Look at a pretty standard Pinfuan, a floating 8-so Dora. Similarly, Pinfuan, maybe a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku in there. 7-so is the Dora indicator, not the Dora, so it doesn't help that much. It does connect to the 5, though. 9 connects to the 8-so Dora. 8 Mon extends the Manzu shape into one of those really annoying shapes, the 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 9. Oh, Penchon Fill. Beautiful draw there. It really fixes the choke point of the hand. I feel like I go 9-9. Yeah, just go Tanya with this. Sanshoku is very unlikely at this point. You just need to win.
I'm curious how long Yajima is going to fish for this Honitsu. Definitely has no reason not to play it yet, but feels like it's a little slow.
One of those Kanchan. Well, there's a Dora, and that always alerts the table. Hey, I might be doing something slightly suspicious when I randomly cut 6-0, 7-0, and then 8-0 Dora.
Yeah, turn on your warning lights. Something is amiss here.
7 Mon. Technically, it sends the Ishan 10, but the hand's still cheap and bad shapes. We'll cut the 5 here, Sucky Geary it. And see the 2 here doesn't need the 2, 4, 6, 8. Prefers the Ryokan in Sozu. Oh, that's an annoying draw because you almost have to keep it, but it's Furi 10. So it says, no, even though it's tempting, we're throwing it anyway.
I mean, Yajima's playing the value, says Homitsu or bust. Hell, Shinitsu, we'll take it too if we can get there. Really feels like Ichinose has the advantage here with the Ishanten.
Isn't that just the classic feeling you Honetsu and not the Dora suit? You just keep drawing things by Dora over and over and over.
Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes. That's, sometimes all you can do.
5 Mon fits in perfectly. Now Ishan 10 with a Ryokan. There's the call for the possible Itsu Honetsu.
Yep, Yajima, definitely still not close to Tenpai, but a bit closer now.
Oh, there's Tenpai. Will not
Oh,
take the
snap.
Peiko, instead waiting on the 5-so.
Yep, doesn't even want a Dama for the Sanchoku. Says, you know what? I like an aggressive Riichi here. Honda looking to make a move, shut down Ichinose. Oh, and with the one turn away, it would have hit it, but you either always wait one turn or never wait one turn, right? And Yajima's going Chinitsu. Goodness. I believe Ishanten, so can find the draw here in order to get to Tenpai.
9 pins a blank, but it looks pretty bad against that board.
Mm-hmm.
And just shift down. Hold the Haku for now. Oh, 8. Is that Tenpai? Yes, it is. It's on the 6 only. 6 Mon. Riichi Nomi.
Yep, we'll try it. West, I think, should be safe. Tenpai at least a dealer. We're going to play our, what was that, a South? Our guaranteed safe South before. Go out, not going to do it. 1 Mon, that's...
Oh, that's Tenpai.
We're taking a second to figure out the weight or decide whether we want to be on a
what is that, a 2-5?
No, I think a 2-3.
2-3-5?
Maybe? It had the like triple 1-2. So it's definitely 2-3. I don't know if it has anything else. I think it might just be 2-3.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, 2-3 at least.
2-3-1 technically. Which I guess there is still 1 Mon out and about. Takizawa here really trying to figure out if they want to do a push, what is safe, what is not.
You see that hand over the Monzu tiles.
Debating. It's going to be a monster on specifically the 3, I believe. I think that's the only Itsu deal in.
Well, if it's Honitsu, this isn't even that bad necessarily for Takizawa, but if it's
all
Shititsu,
these,
just
I mean,
miserable.
so many
Yeah,
honors are out.
You're in first, just don't press your luck. Especially with how the scoring in this tournament works, it's just not worth it. We need sumos,
So
and the
not
worst
gonna
case
do it.
happens, you drop 1 point, and that's fine.
8, so I think you have to try 8 here. Oh no, there's only 2 7s. This sucks. There is nothing good.
It's bad. Maybe 2
Maybe
pin?
7 pin? No. Oh my goodness. Maybe 7 pin, maybe 6 pin. Just hope that it clears against non-dealer
Yep,
Riichi.
does eventually throw the 8. It is Dora, but it does pass.
Works out. And we're going to have some
And there we
Tenpai
see the
reveals.
Tenpais, 3 of them.
Takizawa is going to end up spreading the wealth. A lot of points on board for next hand, though.
Takizawa, though, still clearly in front, but that gap closing.
I mean, hey, there is 2,600 in the middle of the board right now, so any win is going to be a big one.
really anyone at this table. Even Honda's not that far back, but Ichinose will be dealer again here.
Oh, and
With
Ichinose got a
pretty
decent
no, it's
hand.
not that great. You'd have
Yeah.
the Pinzu's a mess with a 1-2-6-8. The other shapes are pretty good, but I just feel like Pinfu hand. Now this is an annoying hand because it's
Oof.
going to
Yeah.
want to tempt you 8 different ways, and they're all wrong.
Yeah, right. Just Riichi no me on the
It's
bad
just
pinch
so
on.
often going to be like, hey, if I just get the perfect thing, it's going to be Junshan. All right, hey, I'll get the Sanshuku here, and it just go to your Ichinomi.
Yeah.
Pair up Haku, you should just call and go now.
A little bit of speed. Are we going to take
Okay,
it?
there's your 7.
Yep.
Very nice draw. And there's the call.
Oh, could even go a Honitsu.
There is a Honitsu, but at that point, I don't think you're losing the Shunten here to make that move. You just want the points.
I mean, it
Or
could.
fills this into a Rasamen-chan with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now.
You get into the Tonki game, you find yourself there. Speaking of which,
Well,
4-pin might drop one.
Okay,
No,
not
okay.
even going to consider it because you could have cut the 1 mon there, and
Yeah.
if you paired up the 1 pin, then you really have a decision to make. But if you're just cutting the 1 there, you're not even really considering anything else.
Yeah, Takizawa says I'm going to play efficient. I'm going to make sure to keep my lead. Standard practice, standard stuff.
Another 9 extends the 8-9-9 shape now. 2 mon pole, possibly Peiko. 7 fills the Penchon. Very nice Ishanten. 3 so. I mean, it just keeps moving the hand forward, but man, is it cheap.
Oh, and
There is
Tempo
our
for dealer.
Riichi. Was a Riichi Pinfu. I didn't see if there was
There's
a Dora.
1 4-so. So on the 4-so, it will be a Dora. Otherwise, it will not be. And now 6-9.
Tempo
Genbutsu the
6-9.
dealer. Yeah, 4-so would be huge. It'd be
Yes.
Reach, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora. It would be Mangon on the 4. Why that would ever come out, I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter. Just
Yeah.
sumo.
Ichinose ends up tipping Takizawa with an extra 1K.
Thank you for doing business. We always appreciate it around here. Takizawa now over 40,000 again with that win, and boy, the fight for second place is getting really tight. We are only in South 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once we get in the next round, South 3, then it'll start to do its thing. Then that's where you really need to start thinking of end conditions. But here, not so much. Still have a little bit of breathing room.
Well, I feel like a bad Pinfu hand. You can see a couple shapes forming, but you need to fill those contrasts, especially the 2, 4, 6, 6, 7 in Sozu needs to be improved. This is similarly mediocre Pinfu hand, maybe some shifts later. I like the Itsu in Sozu, but not much else here. And
Oof.
this is just an annoying hand.
Ishinose's hand
I'd say
is just
4
rough.
hands that are below average.
Maybe, yeah. I would say dealer Yajima's like about average. Maybe
This
you can
one's
make argument
this
for
is pretty
Takizawa.
average. Takizawa's is okay, but I'm not thrilled with any of these.
Oh yeah. Not gonna say any hand's fantastic, I'll tell you that much.
No. 6 so even then he connects to the 8, so you'll hold it for now, but you're not expecting much. Similarly, the 5 connects to the 3. It's like, oh great, we get another con shot in this hand, just what we needed. Throws the 9 away, may even be shifting towards Tanya later. 7 connects with the 6. 8 will allow a shift up if wanted, also a 6, 7, 8 Sanshuku. But you have that 8. You can always pair the Dora up and then potentially use the 5, 7 Kanchan.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Yuck. That is not what you want your hand
Yeah.
looking like at the end of row 1.
Little gross. Little gross. Little ugly.
All these hands just keep getting worse. They're ones where you look at it and go, this is technically an improvement, but with how late you're getting into the hand, it doesn't feel good. None of these hands feel good. This is the best by far, but even that's still 2 Shoten. It has great shapes in there and some potential value, but sick discard, you figure you're behind. Actually, not in this hand. Okay, now Ishanten for Rishipin Fudor 1. Nine completes the in there with the 789 mon. Free pin is a blank. I imagine it gets thrown back. There's not really a reason to hold it, and I definitely like the 9 so as my relative safe towel. You see a couple 8s. Eight, yuck. Yeah, Karigiri switches it out. You already got the 7, so you can't even really hedge it for any Peiko. And the 5, well, there was a route to a 3-4-5 Sanshoku in there somewhere, but you had to really work for it. South, on the other hand, will be held as the safe tile over that 9 so.
They're not gonna do 7 pin, great villain.
Kanshan, now Ishanten.
With the Dora, gonna make a
6
lot
going
of
to
work.
reject the perfect Ishanten once the Gammon. Chun gets tossed, still Ishanten.
Yeah, Ichinose needs value, just doesn't care, needs to play the Dora.
Hatsu, and you're like, well, I have great shapes, decent value, but I'm not Tempai. Well, there's our Tempai. Riichi Dora 1. This extra has extra Fu because you have the 1 Mon Onko and 3 So Onko. So that'll be 50 Fu on a Roan, 40 on a Sumo.
Definitely valuable.
Oh, and the perfect Ishanten backfire. Didn't take it, and of course would have Onko'd up.
Happens. Is always the one time you don't do it.
That is also Tempai. We'll go ahead and Riichi here. Waiting on the 3 So.
Each Dora. And
Now
3
the
So's
7
dead.
pin would be a Suji, but you just don't trust Suji when it's the Dora indicator.
Yeah, most of these players have a Dora worked into the hand, looking for 7 pin or playing a 7 pin too. So it's not coming out. I think
No,
there's
you
still
figure
one
you have to
left.
draw it yourself when you're in a situation like this. Now, that could be called for a possible 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, and I think the decision here is there any reason not to? Because you know the 4 is already safe. It gives you a route to at least get the Tempai payments out of this.
Yeah, Takizawa seems firmly out.
South's just going to be held for now. 5 So, okay, Ishanten. The 2 Mon had already cleared, so I can get rid of that safely. Still Ishanten. Yep. Nah, that's just not going to be Tempai. Takizawa would love it, but it's not going to be there. And we just see 3 players Tempai.
2 players.
Or no, was it broken at the... Yeah, it was broken at the end. Was trying to make those calls to get there. It was just stuck Ishanten at the end. Couldn't get that last one. So 2 players Tempai.
We re-roll 2,300 in the middle. Little bit more to connect with.
Yajima into second place for now.
Oh, and this is not the iPod you want to see.
Yeah,
Even
I've said it
putting the
many times, but
Kokushi's
there's a
together sees
shortcut to
something's
knowing how good
going.
a hand is. If you count the number of even tiles in a hand and it's less than 2, it's a bad hand.
Oof.
Ooh, well, that's a good hand. That's
Eh,
Monzu Honitsu or
little
Chinitsu
slow.
even with Dora. Well, depends what you can call with a hand like that.
Yeah.
If you want the Honitsu, and I'm always more willing to accept bad shapes if it's just a callable hand.
Mm-hmm. Honda feels like they've been playing a lot more passively too, or slower, so may not even like the Honitsu call. They still have a dealership left over. Team Aokei isn't like in dire straits just yet for points, so they don't
Formon,
necessarily need
possibly
to
Peiko
push
upgrade.
for it.
Well, now it's just
Ooh.
3 Dora and may just play raw efficiency. The question is you cut this penchant.
I think you have to do the South. No, even doing the
Nope,
8.
cut the 8. Now that's a player who's saying I am perfectly fine waiting for with my final weight being a 3-so penchant.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it feels that either that has to come out or the South has to come out. Speaking of calls for flush base hand, we see 9-so pawn.
Yeah. Yajima going Honitsu, committing, says my hand sucks. Gotta make some play.
3, huge upgrade. Possible Itsu now.
Itsu would be insane, especially you get to call open, guarantee Mangan, you get to cut the penchant too.
2-so pair up, moves the hand forward. 8. Oh no. Well, you already cut one of those 8s. I guess 6 doesn't hurt
Doesn't
you
hurt to cut
that
the
much on
second
the
one that much,
backfire,
but
but
you're
at the
thinking
same
about the
time, if you're
Shinitsu.
going Chinitsu, yeah, it's
Yeah.
what could have been.
Said, oh.
8-so is a blank. Yeah, that gets thrown back
Yeah.
immediately. 6
Ooh.
Onko's up, so now perfect Ishanten there.
On for Ichinose, that's just kind of Riichi, which I guess is enough to get in a second right now, which is pretty meaningful.
Yeah, and that's really your only goal here. Just move the dealer, turn around, try and sneak off with second, maybe Oikabri Takizawa in South 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's Tempai Riichi Nomi, 1-4 pin.
I mean, could always Urabomb on the 6-pin. Don't see any 5 pins, so definitely a shot.
6-mon could go Tanya here. Oh, the perfect draw. That just Tempai.
I mean, you shove
This is
5,
Kinfu
right?
Dora 3 will
Oh,
Dama 3-6 pin on the
Dama.
Gimbutsu 3. But Joshi Patsumo, Riichi Patsumo.
Oh, 4-pin, not 5-pin, close. But
No,
with the
no.
Ipot Sumo, that'll do its weight.
Oh. It also dodges the bomb that was going off there at the Gimbutsu 3-pin
Yeah,
weight.
Honda not feeling great after that. An absolutely massive hand, just completely denied now.
And Takizawa will be dealer here in South 3. We're getting close to the end here. And Takizawa did very well early on and is mostly sat back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing a lot of Kanchans, and maybe the 5-6 is something there, but I'm not thrilled with a hand like this.
Yeah, it does not feel great. Not even one bit.
This is the situation you're talking about. When you get a hand like that, like if I draw something well, if something that moves the hand forward, great. And if I don't, I just want to pass dealer turn off cheaply.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully
We see a
Ichinose doesn't
Haku
hit
pair.
a win. Definitely doesn't
3
get any points
upgrade
from
from
you for it.
1, 3, 4, 6. Chun will be held. Speaking of Chun, spare one in this hand as well. 5 pin for a 3, 4, 5, 5. Shaw is a blank. 3-so, okay, now you have the overlap with the 2, 3, 5, 6. I guess the positive side of that is you can accept Dora twice now. Five pin makes it a 5, 5, 6. Yeah, there's your 5, 6, 7. There's a Sanchiko right here, especially if you've got the penchant. But you might as well go with the 9 first, because the 6, 6, 7, 9 without a pair. You're not that happy to lock in the 8 penchant, the 8 Kanchon, so you just cut the 9 now.
Yeah. Most of the
8.
time. Gets
That is a
the-
useless tile.
Yeah.
2, and it's another pair if you really want to hedge the Chitoi or the Peiko, but
Yeah.
we'll do so.
At least not any better.
No,
than
there's your
what was there.
Dora.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
That's a very good
Oh.
floater.
3-mon.
Fremont completes a
Shoten.
shape in lower Monzu. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9.
Yep. Honda gonna be Ishan 10 right now.
1 pin is a complete blank. The question is, how much do you want the 1, 2, 3 song? You can cut 5 mon and just play hyper, lock it in, but I like just throwing it back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just perfect Ishan 10 if you cut the 5, but instead we'll cut the 3. I think the plan here is just call the Haku, be done with it.
6-mon that'll upgrade and cut to 1-mon now.
Hey, well, okay. There's actually going to move this around, cutting the 2 mon, hedging the Itsu now. Forso para,
Sora
perfect
pair, that's
here.
huge.
Ishunten for Riichi Dora 2.
Can even Shi into a Dora too. Massive hand.
Oh, well, that's just Tempai for Pinfu possible Itsu.
And yep,
This
throws
is
the
a
dime.
147 weight where 1 is Itsu. At the same time, Yajima can't really fold with that hand.
Mm-hmm.
8 pin is not it.
Oh,
Well, there's your Dora Onko. And you just have to figure ruining someone's hand. You have a 1 Soonko and a 4 Soonko.
Which happens to be dealer. So.
He's going to keep it as the floater for now.
6-pin, little ugly.
Yeah, but with this hand, I
throw
think you should have to go.
Yeah.
If you deal in, you deal in. This should be 4-pin, 7-pin if you want to push it.
Could be 6-pin. Little bit of a
Okay, we'll go up to
Mawashi.
6.
A little bit safer. That will cheat a
Just going to
Tempai.
chi this down for Tempai, waiting 2 mon, 5 mon. So it's 147 versus 2-5. Hatsu, boy, there's a hesitation there. I thought that was it until he saw the tile.
Yeah, Yajima can just not find this.
Oh, there's the 1. I mean, you have to be out here, don't you?
Yeah, I feel like Takizawa's hand is just not put together well enough.
It's
now.
out. Well, plus Takizawa, if it ends like this is great for Takizawa.
Yeah, pretty good.
As long as you get a Kabreed here and you just take out the Tempai, you're going to be first going it all last. 1 mon pair up, could back into a Chitoi here.
Finds the 3, it's safe.
1 pin goes out. Oh, well, there's your Tempai. Riichi Dora 3, 5-8 mon.
Pretty much every Monzu, just about lethal. Oh, and we got another pair. Now Takizawa's got a thought to make. We'll do 6-0. Oh, and
hey, that's going to deal into the Apatsu. Riichi Apatsu Dora 3. I can't tell what that is.
Oh, that's 3 mon. Ah.
Yeah, 3 mon, not 4 mon. The 2 mon being the indicator. So not it, but we'll definitely put Yajima in a good position to overtake later. Jumps to second, and Honda is, we're not going to say dead because dealer here, but in a lot of trouble.
I mean,
when you're 14-5 and third is 32-7 and all last, it's please let me be dealer, and that is the advantage Honda will have.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting too because all these players need their conditions. So when they don't have hands that meet it, they're just going to try and well, I was going to say they're going to try and let Honda win or repeat. And normally
if
that'd be good.
If I'm Ichinose, I'll take my 2,000 if I can get it.
Pass a second.
I'd love the manga to play for first, but second is fine.
I mean, yeah, but you have to get 2K just gets you third now. Or no, you're right, second. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
second.
You're right.
1K is
so
third, but yes.
I mean, it is interesting.
It all comes down to
'cause-
what your starting hand is. Oh, well, speaking of good starting hands,
Oh, yeah.
Honda
Honda's
now
got a decent one.
Ishunten for Riichi Tone, potentially. Free so good float. We're going to get thrown back. The idea is
Yeah.
call the Haku and just go with it.
Yeah, normally
6 pin,
anybody.
possible Chinitsu building. Slowly, though.
I was gonna say anybody besides first two, who is the Kamisha to the left of the dealer two, has some strategy to try to feed them to get guaranteed hands and all that. But Takizawa actually wants to stall out Honda's hand. Would love for Honda to be no 10.
Yes. At this
Which makes
split,
it a
you
little bit
can
harder.
even have
Ooh.
the full 4,000 swing and you're just in first.
Yeah. Yajima with weird draws. Honda just throws it back, doesn't want it. Ichinose now moving towards perhaps a Chitoi.
Would like to go Honitsu from it. Oh, a Hatsu pair up there is a bit of a backfire.
Oh boy.
Another 6 pin. That's actually a really annoying shape because it's going to be not Ipeco most of the time.
Well, did
So
you
you're
think about
losing all
drawing
your
7
value.
pin and going Chinitsu? Did you consider that route, Korak?
Oh, of course I did. I will always take a Chinitsu if given the option. Well, there's your 7, but it can't be called from there. And now we'll see if it plays me. No, 5 is not going to be usable.
Shanten for Yajima.
1 pin. I mean, you go the 5 so. You don't completely kill off the Chinitsu route now.
Still
But
one
there's
pin.
just Tempai. This is Riichi, possible Riichi Tone. 8 so Tone Shampon.
Powerful hand. Powerful hand. And Ichinose now has to defend. A weird pawn for Yajima, too.
Yeah, that screams Chitoi.
Yeah, and even pushes
throw the safe
Ichinose
tune.
back.
No, that is a Monzu. It's a good one. This should be a Riichi.
I mean, 5-8 Haku is so good.
Yeah, I think you have to take this. The only consideration is is it worth the risk here? And I think in second place it is. If it were Takizawa, I'd probably back off. But oh no, just going to fold out.
Yajima doesn't like it. Oh, and third 1 pin with a Riichi on the board. 3 pins Tempai? No, 3 pin was not.
I don't think
Tempai.
so. Yeah, I think
Ishunten.
it's Ishunten. This is a super wide one.
Checks the 3-mon though, so it looks like we're going towards Honitsu. Could even call this 9 pin in the Tempai.
I think you always do, yeah.
I think you have to if you're gonna drop that 4 pin Tempai.
Let's see, what is that shit? Yeah, this is just the 4 pin.
Yeah.
Because you have the 5, 6, 6, 6, 7.
I mean, I think there's a good couple of draws that heavily increase the
There are
weight, though.
tons of upgrades, like especially 2 pin. We see where 2 of those 4s are locked. Oh, well. Could even move it towards Sananko if you want. The question is, you go the 6 or the 7 here.
1 5 out, 3 being Genbutsu, but they see the Tadashi. Honestly, I might just do 3 pin. Guaranteed
Just
save
going to
for
keep the
dealer. Yeah. 2 pin was almost never winning, or never winning from that cut. 3 4.
Oh, are we going to see that 4 come out? We will see a 4 come out, but not the Pinzu.
No, it looks so dangerous, especially when you see that guy making
Oh,
action.
there's Dora. That may be just complete ruination of this hand. Yeah, he's like, okay, we're out. Never mind.
It's still fish for Tempai, though.
One is pretty safe here. You just threw the 4 last turn. But if you're really worried about oh, there's the 4. But it broken away from it because of the Dora.
Yep, saw the hesitation, had the correct read that
it was safe now.
Push off, yeah. Is able to advance the hands. Yeah, that Shompai 1-mon is definitely a little weird, especially with dealer pawns, but North we're tanking. We don't see it. And again, dealer has such a weird pawn.
Well, wants to throw Haku, but at the same time, you're wondering the same question. If this is Chitoi, Haku just deals in so often here. And if it's not Chitoi, what's my backup plan?
Mm-hmm.
3-pin is 100% safe.
4-pin
The
2.
4-pin is 100% safe.
5-pin is fairly safe. It's going to check 5-mon, though. Do a little bit of hedging.
Just a fold, cutting the 6-pin. So it may end up just being Honda ends up with the only player Tempai. We get a net 4,000 on the table, or I guess 3,000 because of the Riichi stick loss. But we still have a few draws to go.
Yep, still hedging.
And wait, are both these in the wall? I think they are.
Are they?
I
You might
haven't
be right,
seen them.
actually. Is that 1-mon everyone was scared about?
Oh, there's your Dora pair up.
Not quite Tempai yet,
Possibly
though.
Peiko. There's no Peiko in there. Oh, that is, yeah. You still have the Zonosugira. The Tuzo is an interesting draw, though.
Oh,
Oh, there's your
that
tone.
East. So also looks so bad.
We were wondering where it was going to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ichinose goes triple North here.
Yeah, I'm not
Or
pushing
rather
this.
double North. It's so and East both look so bad. And this can get you 4th if you deal in on one of those. Okay, plays the 9. Maybe
Just
trying to
cuts the
back up
9.
to a Chitoi or something.
Three Mon isn't it. It's just a couple draws left. That is not Tempai.
Trying to think about what the safest tile is. There's been a lot of movement. Maybe 3-pin? Oh, like 6-mon.
Well, there they see it. Yes, it was a weird pond. It was a random Shampon. But a Yakuai Shampon, so no one deals in. One was deep in the wall, the other was dead walled.
Mm-hmm.
But the result is Honda does pick up 3 Tempai payment sticks.
Yep, and this is going to be an important round. Helps conditions for first place. Now, I believe, with that extra 1,300, 3 Han.
Any 1 Han is good enough for Ichinose, Yajima.
Yeah.
Yeah, any 3 Han is good enough.
Matters quite a lot. Can Ichinose 350 now with 52? Yeah, that would do it too. So Ichinose with 3 Han 40 would be able to pass as well.
Hey, look at these hands. A bunch of
not
Monza
quite.
here, maybe an Itsu. This feels very Pinfu, possibly Peiko if you get a 2-pin draw. South pair, East pair. How greedy is Ichinose going to be? And the answer is maybe. We'll see. 8 pins complete blank, but better than some of those honors. One pin doesn't do anything. One pin still doesn't do anything. But this isn't 1, 2, 3 Sonic, so maybe you could shift into it. I'm going to go to the floating 8 instead. Chun pair up. Well, his hand wants to be Honitsu. The problem is Takizawa doesn't need it to be. So you're just going to keep the 6-7.
Does check the door, though. Doesn't see an early pawn. No immediate sense of danger.
No, speaking of Dora, that's another one added here. As Ichinose would love to integrate it, but the question is how are you getting 3 Han from this, or even Mongon level, and I don't see it. I feel you just might even throw it back. We'll cut from the 5-7-7 shape.
I mean, Reach Dora Sumo gets you there, right? Food's going to be a little tough, but maybe have a Honitsu later down the line. Although with the 1 pin, got to think probably not looking at that route. Well, speaking of that, Takizawa making more Honitsu draws. I mean, things are getting tight. Takizawa's conditions are getting easier and easier for people to beat him. He might decide, you know what, time to be a little bit aggressive.
Well, 6 allows some shifting around. The question is, do you even want the 1 mon here? You can't cut the 1-3 as well, but I feel the 1 mon's the normal cut here. Oh, well, there's your 8. This also allows you to call down for Itsu if you cut the East or the 9 mon here. I'd cut the East for sure.
Yeah, too much good ship.
You say good shape. Wasn't that double penchon?
Ichinose actually has double non. I forgot about that. So with that, Nadora, she's actually got her condition.
Oh, and
That's
that
3
allows you
Han.
to call the tune for 1 Han. Similarly, you can always call the 3 mon. Two pin is a complete blank. Now what the hand's looking for. 7 connect here with the 6. You can cut the 5 or even the 1 pin. Does go with the 5.
4 mon, not going to do enough.
Not going to play around for the 4-5-6 Sanshoku, which require a bunch of shifting. Pay is not going to help. Looking for a 3 mon, 6 mon, or tune.
Nine pin not going to help. 8 pin.
Yajima. That gives his head value.
Well, Tan Pin Dora would be enough. That's Yajima's condition on anybody. Oh, the
2 pin, there's your Ipeiko.
Huge for Honda. I think
It's not
Ichinose
ideal
is
that
just
the
slow.
shape has a 7-9 in there. You'd love to go Tanya, but if it's what you get, it's what you get. This should be 2 pin.
I think you have to, right?
Thinks about it for a bit, eventually gets there. Oh, this is Tempai. Which weight do you want? You
Maybe
go 1 tune Shampon, or you can
Dama?
reach you the 1 and take the 3-6.
Low key 1 mon Dama, I don't hate. Try and snipe somebody for a 6
I
coming
think if you're gonna Dama, I think it's 2 mon Dama, but I like the 1 mon Riichi.
Okay. Takizawa puts it up, says I'm Tempai, come to play. Honda, nothing to lose.
For Riichi, possible. It's
South
Anko of the South.
Huge for Ichinose. We're going to check Dora. It works. Yajima's conditions change. Doesn't need it anymore.
9 mon, isn't it? 3 mon is it, though. Riichi Nomi, good enough. No Ura, but it is Riichi Nomi. And, of course, there is extra Fu there. Not that it matters a whole lot. But it's going to give Takizawa the win. Yajima will get second, Ichinose in third, and Honda in last.
Yeah, tough for Honda.
Just didn't get hands. And sometimes that's just how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, again, tried. Went down swinging most of the time. Just sometimes that's what you do. You go down swinging. Good points though. DD Studio +2 increases the lead ever more, especially with Junkatsu Master and AMC Dental only getting 1 point in the previous game.
Yeah, and we see there's 5 games left, and only 1 team goes straight to the finals. DD Studio, you're not going to say a lock at this point, but
good odds.
They're getting there.
And likewise, Alban and all Sirius, like especially with Chambos being able to erase 3 points, chance to drop to the cut, but it's looking like a 1-on-1. Outside those Chambos, a 6-point gap is a lot based on what we've been seeing with a 5-game spread.
Yes. Because remember, your maximum swing in a game is 3 points, and most of the time it's going to be at best 1.
Mm-hmm. God, these tiebreakers could be important too. Like we see right now, Being Queens and Tomozoe Shoten, who just got 3 points. Tomozoe is losing on the tiebreaker, and as we heard with Jen earlier, these playoffs round ones really matter a lot because each table that you advance to has an extra spot that promotes to round 2. So for instance, playoff round 1 is going to have 1 team advance to round 2. Table B is going to have 2 teams, and table C is going to have 3 out of 4 teams. So that is a huge advantage to be playing on the highest table, even if you don't get to skip around. I mean, even number 9 in AMC Dental right now could end up in tiebreaker situations where if they were number 9 would be beating AMC Dental. It's
you can see everything's going to be neck and neck. So you just need to put your team in position.
Mm-hmm.
And all this time, you don't want to get those zeros. Because even if you're not advancing, you know everyone else is.
Yeah, everyone else is going to do it.
Alrighty, well, should we just go ahead and wrap it up then?
I think so. I think that is going to be it for today. The one thing I do want to bring to attention, besides our wonderful sponsors, which could you tell us more about them, Korak?
Well, of course, the Sparrow's Nest Studio, USPML run dojo in New York City, and let's see, who else we even have at this point?
Well, we have USPML and WRC, right? Not only do we have USPML, again, they are hosting not only that World Riichi event that you were going to, the World Riichi event
I will be at tomorrow with several other WRL pros, and of course there are similar events in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yep. Not only that, but also we have WRC. Not only do we have the WRC for real, actually, starting Tuesday, as you heard Jen talk about, there's going to be a ton of coverage for that on the official JPML channel, if I have it correctly. But also, remember, next week, just a little over a week from today, the World Riichi Online Team League is starting back up as well. That is going to be a 4-player team league where even if you missed out at WRC, there will be tons of Japanese professionals playing, tons of really strong players from across the globe. I know that helped whip me into shape. Last time it was around super good. I would highly recommend it for practice. And this time, you don't even need to sign up before it starts. You can sign up after. So even if you can't get a team of 4 coming in by next week, keep looking. I'm sure you can find it and you could still join in after. Again, couldn't recommend it enough.
WRC will be on youtube.com/@JapanProMahjong.
Yes.
Is the name of that channel. And of course, you see the team league whipped you into shape. Well, then you played the 3-player league and just decided to double Yakuman twice.
Okay,
so I don't know how this works.
I not try, because that's what was happening during the Sama League. I was just full spine, whatever. Also, want to remind people our next stream is going to be on this. Our next stream on this channel is going to be covering the Sankei Shimbun Cup. For the 2025-2026. Yes, July 10th and July 11th, I believe, at our normal 4 p.m. EST times. So that'll be, again, week break. WRC is going to have all the fun action, which tune into that. Definitely going to be a pinnacle of Mahjong that we are going to see there live. Lots of US players, too. Got to root for the home team, at least on my end.
Yeah, plenty of other people also went out there. Of course, Kyle/Curly will be providing some of that WRC coverage. I know he went out there, and I don't think he qualified for the event, so he will be on site along with Jen and Garth.
Yep.
And they will be leading most of the broadcasts for that, so we hope to see you watching over there and join us back here in a couple weeks.
And the final rounds, last thing of the Saikyosen Team Battle is going to be August 1st and 2nd. So if you are looking to catch what is sure to be an exciting final 2 days for this, you're going to want to tune in the 1st and 2nd. You're going to want to save that date. Alrighty, y'all. From everybody at the World Riichi commentary booth and everybody who helps out with the production, all the fun stuff, take care, y'all. Enjoy your night. Nothing but the best of wishes in your games.
Fair. Let's say WRC starting very soon.
Yep.